meteorologist Cloudy with a chance for Cody and Gold on 96.5 The Fan.
I know that there were some rumors. I did not.
Wow.
I did not tell Cloudy to say that today.
He's a listener.
I did not tell Cloudy to say that.
Yesterday, clearly our meteorologist listens to the show. I'll tell you that because they know all about the wasp that you killed right before the show. You were freaking out about as well. And
I wasn't trying to get stung again.
The report is correct. There is no chance of wasp. We're inside today. There's no wasp in this studio, so you're
help
safe.
me if we get stung inside this studio somehow.
Yeah.
Like a bee or a wasp has never made it inside a building. You know?
Wow.
I
thought shots were fired at me yesterday.
Ned Yost would have been appalled at the number of bees I murdered yesterday. They all had to go
a couple days ago with the mower.
Uh-huh. No. I went back for blood.
Wait. Hold on.
Well, they were still alive. I went back to the nest.
So 2 days ago.
I wiped them out.
So 2 days ago, you're mowing your yard 2 days ago. You disturbed their nest. It's their home, by the way. You disturbed, okay? And they stung you. And then yesterday, you kill a wasp at camp. You go home from camp after killing a wasp, and then you went back out with what? What did you do? Did you get a flamethrower? What did you do?
I got a 2-pack of those giant foaming cans, stirred up some trouble, and then took them all out.
So you just...
Yeah. What am I supposed to do? I got to be able to mow the grass at some point. Just concede part of my yard.
So you just have like a giant foam mound in your yard right now?
Nah, like the rain washes it away eventually. It's not like
Sounds
that.
great
It's
for the environment.
Soft foam,
Yeah.
you know? Had to be done, dude. Had to be done. I had to be able to mow at some point, presumably. And I couldn't I can't just give up the yard to the bees. The bees just own it now?
No, I'm just surprised you went back out so quickly to kill all of them. That's all.
The truth is, I wasn't sure how much of their nest I destroyed with the mower or how underground it was or anything else in between. It was all just a guessing game. I had to go try to throw sticks at it to see if they were still there. What am I supposed to do?
You almost got stung again by doing that.
I did not get stung, thankfully. No extra bee stings.
We will keep an eye on what's going on at practice, though, today with our Chiefs insider, Nate Taylor, if there's anything notable of that. As I said, we might have Nate call in. We also are expected to hear from Elijah Mitchell today, and that's where we actually start. We want to start with the running backs, and the conversation around that is going to be very interesting, I think, over the next 3 weeks, because if we look at the very early going, they're not in pads and all that, but Pacheco's the one, and behind him, at least in terms of getting work so far, it has been Kareem Hunt, and then Elijah Mitchell, and then the rookie Brashard Smith. And I think as camp progresses and preseason progresses, depending on performance and health, it seems like the quote-unquote battle of a running back spot is between Hunt and Mitchell, does it not? Guaranteed money-wise, Elijah Mitchell actually has more money guaranteed than Kareem Hunt does on his deal. Now, neither is a massive amount of money, okay? And there's a chance that, you could even do the old Carlos Hyde trade from a couple years ago where late in camp you flip one of them for a 7th-round pick or something like that. But Elijah Mitchell, if he is actually healthy and available, depending on what kind of player they're trying to have in this backfield, if they think Brashard Smith is ready, then maybe they don't need an Elijah Mitchell type this year. If Brashard Smith is not ready, then I wonder if that favors actually Elijah Mitchell. Because Kareem Hunt was effective for them the first 2 months of the season when they needed him last year. Yeah. And then I think he kind of wore down a little bit. Is he ready to go? Andy said this is the first real offseason he's had in a couple of years.
Look, the truth is, and I heard the clip yesterday of him talking about giving up the sweets. We can play that maybe in a minute, but I think he is at greater risk to be cut than we probably want to admit. And fans won't like that idea based on the fact that he was kind of the savior for a backfield that had lost everybody in the backfield at one point last year. But the best case scenario for this running back room is that they do not need Kareem Hunt, that they do not feel inclined to overuse him. Because while I do think he's better in the red zone area, that's the only area in which I think Kareem Hunt, when everybody is healthy, is the superior back. Isaiah Pacheco, when healthy and young, is still the better current back than Kareem Hunt. Not talking about in their careers or anything like that, just where they currently stand. The only place in which I want Kareem Hunt touching the ball is maybe inside the 5-yard line, where I feel like he's got, or 3rd and inches, where I feel like maybe he's got a little bit better sense of it. But because he's owed almost nothing, I think you pointed out Elijah Mitchell.
$850,000 guaranteed for Hunt on a $1 million deal or $1.5 million deal.
Elijah Mitchell's guaranteed more cash. And if that's the case, well then I don't feel some infinite pressure. You draft another guy in the 7th round. That doesn't feel like the kind of guy you have to. immediately promote, but that they've been willing to do here as of late. I hope that this camp shakes out where it's Pacheco most of the time, and then just like an equal share between the three if you're keeping all three.
Because of this, you and I were talking off air yesterday, and we were both kind of agreeing that come preseason time, like the games, that means Elijah Mitchell, Brashard Smith, Carson Steele, and I guess to a certain extent maybe Kareem Hunt. Like I don't really need Pacheco getting much work during the preseason games, given the fact that last year he got injured. He's now healthy, which is a great sign, but I don't really need much reps for my number one running back, considering he had an injury last year.
Preseason at all.
Really doesn't need to.
Like, I mean, he knows the job. He understands what's needed of him. Why do I need him playing in preseason game number 1 in a couple of weeks? I don't. I mean, I don't need him anywhere near the field during that time. I still think that the best case scenario for their run game this year is like a 70% share for Isaiah Pacheco. And getting him back to that 1,000 yards, he said, is once again his goal going into this year. Because I do think we undervalue Pacheco a little bit when healthy.
Yeah, and he has never been a 1,000-yard back. He's come very close.
That was his goal.
He's come very close. That's been his goal for really every year, and he was on pace for that a couple of years ago as well. I would take Isaiah Pacheco 900 to 950 yards again. 2023 at 935 yards, 4.6 yards per carry. I do think there's some truth to, because the injury happened last year and then he came back and was just not right, didn't look all that effective. Kareem Hunt was the better back at that point in time, that people maybe have kind of ridden him off too soon. Now, this is probably his last year in Kansas City still.
Yeah.
But I do think there's some tread on the tires still for one last year where you can go and say he's a 900-plus yard back in this system. I do agree with you on that. And for his sake, yeah, hopefully he gets his first 1,000-yard season. In this offense, that's also trickier to do, especially if we think they're going to have a backfield that features backs with different roles. Pacheco, and maybe it's Hunt, maybe it's Mitchell, as we're saying. I think that's a camp battle to watch. And then Brashard Smith's making the team, but do they trust him in pass protection? He seems like more of a receiving type given his background, and we know that we'll see it in a preseason game maybe, but Brashard Smith, kind of a guy that they motion out of the backfield, and maybe he lines up in the slot. There's a lot of different things they can do with Brashard Smith based off of his track record as a wide receiver in college.
I guess, why does everyone in the text line seems to disagree with us, at least on this, which is, hey, Kareem Hunt's not going anywhere?
Well, I think it's a toss-up. I would lean right this second, I would lean towards Hunt making the team over Mitchell, but not by much. I mean, as we said, the dollar amount is really not much different between the two. And while Kareem Hunt was a great story last year, I don't think he's in a spot where, if you're at number 2, if we all agree that you're talking about the number 2 running back, nobody can claim that they've got the number 2 running back job just on a complete lockdown.
Here's the problem. And I think that sometimes we got blinders on because we remember Kareem at his absolute prime. There's a couple of issues here. One is that nobody in the league wanted Kareem Hunt. So I think it's important to note that when he was a free agent and available to a bunch of teams, there weren't people banging down the door to go get Kareem Hunt, including the fact that he was willing to sign a $1 million deal this offseason, which meant he didn't have a bunch of suitors there either. And he only averaged 3.6 yards per carry last year. He only averaged 3 yards per carry the year before that. It was more just volume than anything else. The areas in which you notice Kareem were still good is he has vision in short yardage situations in which I don't need him to get 4 yards. He's actually better if I only need him to get 1, or I need him to punch it in from the goal line. So if you're just keeping him around for that, fine. But those types of running backs don't tend to just get guaranteed roster spots. Guys who are good for a single yard, because before that moment and before he had fumbling troubles, I actually thought Carson Steele was better as a short yardage back than Isaiah Pacheco, right? So there are other guys who might be good as 1 yard guys who maybe you have more control of or cost less money to keep or all the other stuff that comes with it. I don't think his job is guaranteed. And I thought he was fine last year. And for what they needed when they were desperate, okay, great. But that's the first time he'd had 200 carries since he was a rookie. I just gonna be honest. I don't think that that's sustainable.
Coming up at 11 o'clock, we will have our Camp Darling Island, but there's no elimination today since we're not at training camp. That means Monday we're about to have a double elimination Monday. Big day coming up on Monday.
Double elimination
So
Monday.
we'll get to a reminder of what's going on there, plus an amazing stat. Yes, we don't get into a ton of deep stats on this show very often, but there's one stat that just tells us a ton about what has been happening in the AFC for the last 7 years or so. So that's coming up in a little bit. But yesterday we had Xavier Worthy on the show. We appreciate you stopping by. If you missed the interview, it's up on our 96.5 The Fan website, of course, on the Odyssey app as well. But with all the discussion about Rashee Rice and the pending suspension, but also how good he has looked so far at training camp and also the pace he was on, everybody's focused on Rashee Rice. Everybody's also looking at what Worthy did on the back half of the season and also the stats he put up in the Super Bowl. And so there is a huge bit of expectation for Xavier Worthy. Then you have a veteran who's back on another one-year deal, who barely played last year because of an unfortunate training camp / preseason injury. I'm talking about Hollywood Brown. And he's got an opportunity to be the number 3 or 4th target if you put Kelce ahead of him in this offense. Let's not forget about the deep play potential for him.
The way that Hollywood Brown has played so far, and he's being targeted quite a bit here in the early training camp, as he was, Gold, as you probably remember, last year for this team. As in, he became a portion of the offense, making nice catches. Seems like he mattered a little bit. He does have some years, we've talked about this before, he does have some years in which he has been a good, around-ish 1,000-yard guy. Not really just the 1 year probably for that, but some other years of 700, 800 yards in which he's been incredibly effective. The more I was thinking about it, if Hollywood Brown ends up being anywhere close to a decent mid-level receiver, which is all they're really asking him to do, between Svelte Kelce comments yesterday, Hollywood Brown, what I saw out of Rashee Rice in the early part of last year, and year 2 / end-of-year development from Xavier Worthy, there's a pretty strong argument that the Chiefs' ceiling this year for their wide receiver unit is top 3 to 5 in the league. I don't know if I'm willing to say top 1 in the league, but they definitely have a top 5 in the league kind of potential, don't they, this year, out of just the receiving unit?
Go through, because of the top 2 on a couple teams in the league is so strong.
Like T. Higgins and Jamar Chase,
no matter what,
Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison.
I don't care who the 3rd receiver is in Minnesota. You know what I mean? Like, with Jordan Naylor maybe or whatever. Like, that doesn't matter when you have Addison and you have Jefferson.
Hawkinson in their case, probably.
Sure,
right?
if we're including tight end,
because I mentioned Kelce.
Yeah, I would say that you're not jumping ahead of those teams no matter what. I mean, also, frankly, if you have a number 1 that's like Chase or Jefferson, then the number 3 argument doesn't really matter. But
because
if you go,
he'll eat up 1 and 3?
Yeah. If you go through and you get out of what we would consider the top 5 wide receivers, top 10 wide receivers, number 1 receivers in football, and you look at teams that have a number 1 that we would say is like the 15th best number 1 or 10th best number 1 in football, then if you look 1, 2, 3, 4 pass catching options, the Chiefs would stack up very, very well. I would say there's no way they can be in the same convo as Minnesota, Cincy.
Here's Pro Football Focus. Do you want to know who they've
Go
got?
ahead, sure.
Philadelphia Eagles at number 1. A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith. They're
pretty damn
including
good.
Saquon as a pass catcher.
Sure.
They mentioned Dallas Goedert and then throw in Jahan Dotson. But the fact that you're down to Jahan Dotson at 4 is why I think, and Dallas Goedert, it's why I think the Chiefs can kind of jump into that category. They've got the Bucks 2nd because of obviously Chris Godwin and Mike Evans still, but then
Plus
the addition
McMillan.
of Egbuka and McMillan, and Bucky Irving's a very good receiving back, so they think that there's a lot of different guys.
Yeah, I don't think the Chiefs' ceiling is a top 5 receiving weapon group in football.
They mentioned Cincy, Detroit, San Francisco. Now, San Francisco, I just disagree with. Jawan Jennings had 1 good year, and we're willing to. And I think this is I don't.
Jennings,
buy that
Ayuk,
at all.
McCaffrey, Kittle.
They have Kansas City. This is surprising me. 14th. That's where I think they're wrong. I think they're underestimating what the upper end potential could be, because the only difference between the team they have number 1 and the Chiefs at 14 is that Devonta Smith is already Devonta Smith, and Xavier Worthy hasn't yet become that.
Yeah, but that's
if
fair.
He becomes, I know, but but if he becomes Devonta Smith this year, well, then there is no gap between those two. That's why I'm saying
sure.
the upper end potential is still top 5 in the league. Maybe Worthy's the swing guy. Maybe Kelce returning to form is the swing guy. Maybe anything outside of that is what's going to make the difference. But when I'm looking at them, that's what I'm saying. They got top 5 potential from just an entire receiving unit. The biggest downside is they don't have the receiving back some of these other teams have. They don't have like the Bucky Irving, Saquon, like whoever can get it out of the backfield. They don't have that guy.
For sure. I get what you're projecting. I totally get it. Like, I think it's just tricky on looking at, hey, we're projecting Worthy could be Smith. Well, Smith is already Devonta Smith, and they already know they're getting that. So even if you say he turns out to be that, I don't think it puts them ahead of the Eagles in that regard, in that receiving weapons, because of the backfield as well. Like, I think it's kind of tricky when we think about the peak of the entire group being top 5. I think there's a chance they can be a top 8, top 10 receiving group in the National Football League this year? Yeah, there's a chance if we're counting all the pieces to the puzzle for sure. But that to me is best case scenario stuff happening.
So you think best case scenario is more like top 10, not like top 5?
Correct.
Because
there's some teams you're just not passing, right? You would agree, right? Like, you're not in terms of receiving group, you're not passing up a receiving group that has Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, right? And even Chase Brown to a certain extent. Like, you're not passing that. That's just too good. By the way, again, we're just, before somebody freaks out, we're talking receivers. And we're not talking about the overall team. We're not talking about who's going to have a better year, just from a statistical production output.
It's a lot of this, like in baseball, we don't usually talk about this much. Is it better to be deeper 1 through 4 or better to be top end? And typically in the NFL, you'd be like, hey, I can have 4 really good receivers, or I can just have Jamar Chase and a bunch of dudes. And typically most teams would be like, Chase, right? Like I'll just take I'll take Justin Jefferson and then a bunch of people and then 3 Sky Moores. Because and I know that's not that. For the teams that it's difficult to pass on. That's where you're like, I understand the argument that it's like, would you rather have Justin Jefferson and 3 Sky Moores, or would you rather have 4 number 2s, right? In the receiver unit to go with it. Yeah, similar to that. And more often than not, teams do side with I'll take the elite guy, the guy I can throw it to every time. But I think that comes with a big downside in maybe you lose the argument of we don't have the best receiver unit. But when push comes to shove and you're in a big-time game, it is much easier to defend the team that just has one dude that you got to shut down versus we're coming at you from a number of angles. And so, I do think that there's a little nuance to the conversation. And, right now, A.J. Brown's better than Rice. There's no doubt about it. Yeah. If Rice continues the way he started last year, he gets to enter himself into the conversation of some of the better wide receivers in the league. Not the Justin Jefferson, A.J. Brown conversation, but a tier below that. But I'm just saying Rice would be a tier below AJ if he continues what he is. Worthy could be maybe a similar tier or a slight tier below Devonta Smith. But then you're killing him in the 3-4 game is kind of what I'm thinking, in the sense that they might just be more balanced, because Hollywood could provide much better number 3 stuff.
Really, I guess let's just
and Kelce much better number 3 option.
If we just dumb it down then to 4th options in offense. Yeah, I like the Chiefs.
And I'm not dumbing it down to that.
But that's basically what we're talking about then, because if we both agree that most likely we're talking about everything going perfectly for Worthy and Rice in their third year for Rice, second year for Worthy, to get maybe to a conversation where you're comparing them to Devonta Smith and A.J. Brown. Okay, that's fine, but if we're being realistic also about it, and you and I are both very high on production year for Rice this year, even if he suffers a 4+ game suspension, then we're really just about do you like the Chiefs' 3rd or 4th receiving options better than most teams in football? And that's where I was saying.
How close is the gapping between their 1 and 2 and others?
And I would agree with you that the Chiefs, from a 3rd or 4th receiving option, they have one of the best in football. Sure, that's fair to say.
Yeah, especially because Travis Kelce might be your 2nd or 3rd option, depending on which guy you flip. Because that's the thing. If Travis Kelce's back to 1,000 guy, well, then all of a sudden, I am talking about those versions. Goal. And then I'm talking
3
about
850+ yard weapons. Then is what you're talking about. If Kelce's out there.
Yes. Because then it's I'm not comparing Devonta Smith. I'm comparing Devonta Smith, 900-yard receiver, to 1,000-yard receiver Travis Kelce, in which case I'm about even, or I'm ahead.
Yeah. And then you count Saquon or Dallas Goedert
versus Xavier Worthy, and all of a sudden we're having a different conversation. It depends on how big. It's twofold. I think there's a really good chance their 3 and 4 options are better, but how big is the gap between the 1 and 2 options for the teams that definitively have better 1-2 options? Because there are 10 teams that have better 1-2 options. I'm not even arguing that.
I was gonna say, are we even sure that it's I know that if we saw Rasheed put out again, we haven't seen it yet, but if he has 1,400 and Xavier gives you 850, how many better rooms are there than 14?
Sure, but we would agree that 1,400 is not happening with the suspension this year.
Well, yeah, totally. But in terms of
we're talking about this year, aren't we? I mean,
but I don't think you can. I don't think you can have the stance of, he's not a 1,400-yard receiver if he gets 1,000 and he was suspended 4 games, because he's on pace to be 1,500 at that case.
Just depends on how quickly he catches we won't feel that way the first 4 weeks of the season when Rice doesn't exist. Although if they're great before that on offense and then Rice is coming back, we might entertain.
Did you mention where they put the Falcons room? I'm curious.
London, Mooney.
Yeah.
Pitts
yeah.
Pitts again.
Bijan.
Did you see he's once again getting the
He's working out with wide receiver.
The hype's coming back.
No, I was gonna say because the reason
11.
The reason I asked you is
Okay.
because Pennick's comments from yesterday is basically we expect to be the best offense in the league, and he was talking about Kyle Pitts being, hey, did you see me throw to KP? There's gonna be a lot of that this year. You know, I was intrigued. I'd be intrigued to see where they have them.
He's going to bring that big penis energy. He's going to bring that big penis energy.
They had them at 11.
Hey, with his comments yesterday, I think Michael's bringing it.
Who do you guys think are last, by the way?
Michael.
Who I think is
Penix
last?
Jr.
Oh, boy. Well, the Saints have to be somewhere towards the bottom there.
Titans?
Discounting the Saints, they are. Oh, please. God, they're in the 20s somewhere. Are the
Surely they have
23?
Yeah.
They're big Rashid Shaheed and Chris Olave believers, I guess.
to be. Titans?
Somehow the Giants are 24th, even though they have a budding star in Malik Neighbors. That'll speak to how
Interesting.
bad
Well,
the rest of their unit
To your point,
is.
Cody, they have a guy and then
3
and
Sky
then
Moores.
Yeah.
The rest of their wide
And then
receivers are
Carolina-
Theo Johnson,
Carolina-
Wan'Dale Robinson, and Darius Slayton.
Even though
Hyatt.
I like Ted McMullen, Panthers have to be towards the bottom.
26th.
Okay.
Where's Tennessee?
Chargers at 27.
Lad McConkey, and that's about it.
Jets at 28, although that feels a little unfair for
Garrett
them.
Wilson
And
and
Devontae
Alan
Adams,
Lazard.
right?
No,
Oh, no,
he's in
gone.
LA.
Yeah, that's right. He's in LA.
And then Brees Hall, you throw in the mix there?
Brees Hall and Garrett Wilson. Again,
Who's last?
dead last, the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, well, yeah.
Jerry Jeudy, Jamari Thrash. I almost said James Thrash. I'm sorry. That actually wouldn't surprise me.
And then they got Coleman or whatever, right? Or Tillman or Coleman or whatever his name is.
Tillman.
And then the Patriots at
Cedric
31.
Tillman.
Yeah.
And the Titans at 30. I'm actually
Titans are
surprised.
30.
Sounds about right.
Isn't the Titans' number 1 wide receiver Calvin Ridley?
Yes.
That's bleak.
Yes.
Well, hang
The
on.
Chiefs' third wide receiver might be better than Calvin Ridley.
Well, in fairness, would you rather have Calvin Ridley as your 1 or Jerry Jeudy as your 1? Which is where I think the Browns room might actually be
I think
worse.
Judy's the answer still to that.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think I'd probably
Depends on the quarterback, probably.
Wouldn't feel good in that.
Well, in that case, I'll take the Titans quarterback, obviously, Cam Ward, over Joe Flacco / Dylan Gabriel / Kenny Pickett / Shador Sanders, whoever the hell's winning that thing.
Yeah,
I think they're all
exactly.
going to – I think they should just start them all 4 games. And whoever is the best gets the 5th.
Do like a trial run.
Yikes. What a disaster.
Wait, hang on a second. What is the Browns' opening sketch? That's what I know. They open with the Bengals in Week 1. You should, based on last year, you should want the Week 1 matchup.
Bengals, Ravens, Packers.
That's tough. You would want the Week 1 matchup against the Bengals
Then
more
Lions.
than the other 2.
Then Vikings.
What?
And Steelers.
Oh, my God. Cleveland's going to be number 1 overall.
Yeah, you might
They're
want the
picking
Bengals
a quarterback first overall
matchup
next
more.
year. That's for sure.
Goodness. Kevin Stefanski, even though I don't think it's his fault, he might get fired this year.
He might be
Did you see the recent?
Man.
Who the heck said it?
Please tell me
Somebody.
that back to Saban.
No, it's no. Colin Cowherd said all the dots are connecting.
Oh, gosh.
For Arch to go to Cleveland, for Saban to go coach Arch in Cleveland as well. The
I'll
dots
tell you right now,
are
he should put
connecting.
Eli Manning
It is.
if that's what
I
It
thought
was
you
Nick
were
Saban related.
I thought you were going to go because the other. I thought
have
you were
Peyton
saying
coach him?
Well,
No.
no, the other rumor I thought yesterday was that this is the last year for Stafford, no matter how he plays, and that Sean McVay wants Arch Manning, and that's what will keep Sean McVay from retiring from coaching and going to broadcasting.
Look, if I was the Rams and I
We haven't
knew
even
that,
seen Arch Manning
but-
really play. That's the funniest thing about this whole thing. Everybody's just assuming he's going to be right now.
more high
Nussmeier
school-
would probably
Yeah,
be
you
the
know.
number 1 overall pick.
If I was the Rams and I knew, it doesn't matter who it is, but if I was the Rams and I knew that Sean McVay might retire, and if you can't get a guy, I would do everything possible to get whoever is
Totally.
going to be the number 1 overall pick.
Think
I
you
would
have
do
to.
everything. I'd give up future picks, whatever it took to keep Sean McVay.
All right, up next, let's talk a little Royals baseball. They're back home tonight. The Guardians in town. We're just a few days away from the trade deadline. Jake Eisenberg joins us next.
This is Cody and Gold, brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. Tune in to hear Royals insider Josh Vernier every Wednesday at 12:30
We need to nip this in the bud. We need to nip
What in the bud?
on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
Who is the area's only dealer for Fronius professional welding equipment? Metal by the Foot, located in KC and Topeka. Online at metalbythefoot.com. When you need a piece of metal, remember, metal doesn't have to cost an arm or a leg, just the foot.
The summer selection is on at Reiselman Nissan, and 0% financing is back. Get 0% APR for 5 full years on new Rogues, Muranos, and Pathfinders. Or go long with 1.9% for 72 months, or 84 months at just 3.49% APR. Get up to $6,000 in total rebates on the rugged Frontier. And if you're leasing, you'll pay 0 sales tax. That's real savings. Nobody in Kansas City beats our deals or our selections. Visit Reiselman.com for details. Reiselman Nissan, every customer, every time.
It's time to build that dream deck over at All Weather Decks. Schedule a free estimate today at 913-206-1974 or online at allweatherdecks.net. All Weather Decks, the right deck at the right price.
If you love finding the deal and a bargain brings you bliss, the Hy-Vee 5-day sidewalk sale is cause for celebration. This Wednesday through Sunday, stock up and save big on dozens of pantry staples, like Roma pizzas, 4 for $10, Pepsi 24 packs, $9.99, Frito-Lay's chips, just $1.99, Gatorade 8-pack bottles, just $5.99, and Sunbelt granola bars, 4 for $10. Hurry to the huge 5-day sidewalk sale this week, only at Hy-Vee.
Even though it's summertime, everybody's still busy, and that's where Hy-Vee Market Grill comes in. They've got the best dining value in town. Every day, they've got a meal deal from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. And for $8 per person or less, you can treat the whole family to dinner, like smoked chicken Monday, pork chop Tuesday, cheeseburger and fries on Wednesday, and chicken enchiladas on Friday. And don't forget steak Thursday with a perfectly seasoned steak, garlic mashed potatoes, and sweet corn for $12. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner, it's only at Hy-Vee Market Grill.
No one does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Whatever your preference, we have everything from tequila cocktails and an extensive bourbon category to top shelf spirits and cocktails served over ice balls. Local craft beers and handcrafted whiskey cocktails round out an adventurous drink menu, second to none. And don't forget about our 29-degree man-sized drafts. Our happy hour will have you coming back for more. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
Men, the summer is here. Longer days, warmer nights, and romance in the air. Intimate dinners, walks on the beach, dancing in the moonlight. But if you have erectile dysfunction, you know it can ruin romance, both for you and the one you love. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. And if you have ED, don't let another summer go by without getting treated. Because intimacy is one of the greatest things in life, and fear of not being able to perform should not be something you have to deal with. At Heartland Men's Health, we're ED experts. We've successfully treated tens of thousands of men. Our protocols work when others don't, and we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. You could even last up to an hour or more and perform like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial appointment is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600. Or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When it comes to back-to-school shopping at Target, you can choose not to choose. From getting what you need to expressing who you are. With prices that make every choice feel right, why not choose all of the above? From backpacks, bedazzled kicks, and picture day perfect styles as bold as they are. For bring your own lunch days to science project partner days, snack stash days, decorate your locker days, and paint outside the line days. All at prices that will definitely make your day. For all of the above, it's back to school at Target.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Bam! Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea just got harder with Twisted Tea Extreme. Twisted Tea Extreme is made with real brewed tea, goes down smooth, and an 8% kick of alcohol. Dial up the fun with Twisted Tea Extreme. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Chiefs coverage sponsored by Renner Garage Door. RENNER, forward and back.
Almost Andy Reid here. Renner Garage Door has proudly served KC for nearly 70 years. Get your free estimate today. RENNER, forward and back.
RENNER, RENNER.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
Just getting started here on a Friday. We are back in studio with some of the weather in the St. Joe area. I know they're practicing outdoors today. At one point in time, they were going to go indoors. That's why there's no fans allowed. But we'll be back up there on Monday. We'll get back to some NFL news here in 12 minutes or so, including the Raiders raidering once again with a free agent signing in the last 12 months or so. But let's talk some Royals baseball. They're back at the K tonight. The Guardians in town. Someone that I know is fired up for a little full ride on Saturday night is Jake Eisenberg. I'm sure that's what you're looking forward to the most this entire weekend.
Oh yeah. Those were the jams of my middle school years. I can't wait for some Flo Rida.
Yeah, we were discussing
You're going to get low, I hope, man. You know?
Well, honestly, one of the highlights from this weekend for me was getting HUD to read the Flo Rida promo on the TV side, and even better, they got Denny to read the Flo Rida promo on the radio side, and that clip is gold.
What does Denny listen to? Do you know by chance? I doubt it's Flo Rida. That's, I guess, why I'm asking. But then part of me hopes that he's just been like bumping Kendrick all summer, and we had no idea.
You know, that's a good question. I ought to ask him today.
Okay, I'm curious.
Yeah,
I want you to find out for us because now I'm very curious.
Yeah, it's something
I'll report back.
No, you were just in Chicago. Obviously, Wrigley, especially a day game at Wrigley on a Wednesday is like the most, I think, incredible scene for baseball. And Denny also made the trip, too, which I thought was neat.
Yeah, no, that was really, really cool. I mean, it's special when Denny comes on the road because that doesn't happen all that often at this point. But he comes to St. Louis. He was going to come to Chicago a couple of years ago and then didn't, and it was cool to see him at Wrigley Field this time around. And Ian Craft, you might have seen, put out some really cool notes. He had talked to Denny about the times that he had been to Wrigley, and Denny told a story about, you know, how his grandma took him to a game when he was just 5 years old at Wrigley, and they tried to, and Ian figured out exactly which game it was. I mean, there's so much history at that ballpark, and then when you line that up with somebody who has been there for the majority of the ballpark's existence and grew up around it, I mean, that's just a really cool thing.
When you start looking at the series this weekend, we understand the trade deadline is less than a week away and that the Royals have been hovering in this a couple of games below 500 mark for a while now. If like I heard Vinny say, and I guess this is like, do you view it the same way? Vinny's like, we got to make the decision on guys like Lugo hard. Making it hard would be sweeping the Guardians. But at the very least, winning this series is very important if you want to show ownership how serious you are about being a playoff contender this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think what's interesting, there's a couple of schedule things that I found interesting. And look, every game means the same wins and losses, but the ones, you know, leading up to the deadline on Thursday are certainly magnified to a degree because it can more or less determine the course of, you know, what you do in the second half. I mean, look at the Diamondbacks. They just lost 3 in a row, and now they've traded Josh Naylor. They're likely going to trade Eugenio Suarez. And right now the Diamondbacks have the same record as the Royals do. I would say the big difference between the two is the Diamondbacks have a lot of expiring contracts, and it's not as if they have the same kind of contention window or the same kind of I don't know, jumping off point that the Royals do over the next couple of years, at least in my opinion. You know, the Royals are in a place where they have a really solid, controllable core. And if it's not this year, it is going to be next year, the year after that. Like this is a longer contention window, and so you kind of have to factor that in as well. And I think when you look at the schedule that the Royals have played in July, first of all, the Royals have been a really good team in July, certainly better than June, even though that was not the highest bar to set. The Royals are 11-7 in July, 4 games above 500. That's what you wanted to see. They have played a lot of National League teams this month. In fact, this series with the Guardians is the first series against an American League team in a while. So the Royals haven't had a chance to directly improve their standing in either the division or the wild card to the better part of this month. They have a chance to do that this weekend. And so, yeah, these 3 games are certainly crucial when it comes to the American League Central and the wild card. I just think it's interesting that when you look at the wild card standings too, that right now the Royals are right behind the Guardians. They're behind the Rangers and the Rays. The Red Sox have the third wild card position. These are all teams that the Royals have a lot of games left against, with the exception of the Rays. You know, the Royals split the season series with the Rays, but you're still going to see Boston 3 more times. You're going to see Texas 4 more times. You're going to see Cleveland 7 more times. You've got the Twins and the Angels kind of right behind you. Haven't seen the Angels at all yet this season. You've still got some games against the Mariners coming up at a certain point. You haven't seen the Blue Jays at all. They're a first-place team. So it is kind of right in front of you. Like the Royals do control their own destiny to a pretty strong degree at this point in the season. Not that that's all that different from other teams. I just think it makes it a really interesting and difficult decision, and I'm glad I'm not the one that has to do it.
We're talking to Jake Eisenberg here on 96.5 The Fan. Of course, the Royals taking on the Guardians starting tonight out at Kauffman Stadium. A player that has been part of, obviously, the recent success, or at least better play, someone that would have to be part of the equation if this team were to get hot down the stretch. That's, of course, Salvador Perez. There were fair conversations, I think, happening months ago, about Salvador Perez and age and father time and everything. And then here he is now, and he's playing as good as any baseball player at the plate, period.
Yeah, and I'll say this. Before I got to Kansas City, maybe 2022, my second year in Omaha, that's when I first started to really understand, you know, the conversations around Salvador Perez a little bit more, like the Hall of Fame conversations, because from afar, you don't really get it until you see it every single day. And he was just coming off this incredible 2021 season with 48 homers and 121 RBIs. And so the numbers in 2022 were always going to be a step down from that. But then when I got here in 2023, the conversation was kind of similar to the conversation we're having now. It's like, oh, Salvy's getting older, and how long can he keep doing this? And is it time to move on? And should he be traded? That was a big conversation in 2023. And then he goes out and has an incredible 2024 season. And then he starts slow this year, and now he's picking it back up, and he's unstoppable again. And here's the thing that I've learned. We can say that Salvador Perez is getting older and older, and Father Time is undefeated. And I'm not going to believe that anymore when it comes to Salvador Perez, because he has proven time and time again that does not apply to him in the way that we think that it should. And so until there is an actual finality to it, I'm just going to believe that Salvador Perez is going to keep doing what Salvador Perez is doing for all baseball eternity. He's got a really good shot at getting to 300 career homers this year, especially after hitting, 5 homers in his last 5 games and 7 since the All-Star break or something like that, or 9 in the month of July. I mean, it's been unreal.
To be clear, I don't want Salvador Perez to go anywhere, but because we know those conversations in 2023 were real, like JJ had mentioned it, one of the best decisions he said, we're not making those deals. Do you think there are teams that try again on Salvi this year, just knowing the Royals are kind of stuck in no man's land? Like, hey, you guys got lots of good young catchers. Is Salvi available? I don't think they trade him. It just feels like a call teams make.
I think that there are teams that are going to make a call, and I think that's going to get a little bit of a chuckle from the Royals front office, and I think it's going to be one of those tongue-in-cheek questions from other front offices. It's like, hey, while we're talking about Seth Lugo, by the way, Salvador Perez, what do you think? And I think the answer's going to be haha, very funny. Let's go back to talking about something real.
I think that's probably fair. That's probably a very fair way to put it. As far as the pitching staff right now, we know there's a ton up in the air depending on what happens at the trade deadline, but Cole Reagan's middle of August maybe is his timeline. Michael Lorenzen, I guess, could come back from the IL here fairly soon. We know Rich Hill made a start the other night, and Cody and I were saying, look, it wasn't Rich Hill's fault that was just defense, and a lot of things were letting him down. What do you make of just the depth, or I guess kind of lack of depth at this point in time with the rotation?
Yeah, they've been one of the kind of under the radar surprising things, because you were expecting to have Alec Marsh as some really solid starting pitching depth. Kyle Wright was expected to be part of some really solid pitching depth. Marsh has not thrown a competitive pitch this season with a shoulder impingement. Kyle Wright, was on his way back in his rehab appearances, was in AAA stretching out, and then had an oblique injury. He's still on the injured list. I believe Luinder Avila, who at one point might have been considered for a spot start, is either still on the injured list or just recently came back from the injured list. Forgive me, I'm not 100% sure on that one. The point is that the Royals entered the season with some really strong starting pitching depth, and it kind of sort of disappeared quickly. Reagans and Lugo went on the injured list at the same time. Noah Cameron has been a godsend, and I really don't think we're talking enough about what Noah Cameron has been to this team and across baseball. I mean, where would the Royals be right now without Noah Cameron and what he's done? And the fact that he is not more strongly in Rookie of the Year conversations is bewildering to me.
Agreed.
As far as where the Royals starting pitching looks right now, it is still the strength of this team. And Rich Hill was pretty solid the other night. And I agreed with Hud that if the Royals need Rich Hill to make another start, he certainly earned the ability to make another start. We'll see if Michael Lorenzen comes back. I don't think in this series, but maybe in the Braves series. We'll probably find out some more today. But the truth is, if the Royals are going to make a postseason push, whether it's for more likely a wild card spot or even for the division, if the Tigers keep, faltering, they're 1-9 in their last 10. If they're going to make a push, it's because the Royals have the strong starting pitching they did last year, and that includes Seth Lugo. That includes Michael Wacha. That includes all-star Chris Bubich. That includes Rookie of the Year candidate Noah Cameron. And the X factor, like we talked about last week, is Cole Reagans. If Cole Reagans comes back in mid to late August, as is expected, and is Cole Reagans, that is a huge deal for a Royals team that's going to get 4-5 starts from a guy who was top 5 in Cy Young last year and can win you games.
Going back to the Noah Cameron stuff, what do you think it is? Why do you think he's not being included in? My guess is that I think it's two things. I think one, the market stuff hurts, as in people didn't know who he was before the season. He wasn't talked about players like Roman Anthony coming out of these, so he didn't get the buzz. And then the second thing is, I actually think it might be a bias based on being a boring pitcher, if that makes sense. He doesn't throw 102 miles an hour like Mizorowski. It's a stuff bias in a way. I think WAR-wise, he's been the second or third best rookie. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you nailed it. I mean, Noah Cameron was not a top 100 prospect, and as a result, by the way, even if he finishes in the top 3 of Rookie of the Year, the Royals would not get the prospect promotion incentive pick, not only because Noah Cameron was not a top 100 prospect, but he also was not on the opening day roster. That being said, it would still be a tremendous accomplishment and something that Cameron deserves to be more squarely in the conversation of. No, Cody, I think you nailed it. I think it's that he wasn't a top 100 prospect, and he doesn't throw 95, 97, 102 miles an hour like Jacob Mizorowski. But all Noah Cameron has done is taken the ball and given you quality starts, maybe not in definition, but in explanation. I mean, he does have 7 quality starts in his 13 outings, but even the ones that haven't been quality starts, like Monday, gives up 4 runs in the second inning, and I think you'd see a lot of rookie pitchers kind of fold after that, but Noah Cameron this entire season has carried himself so far beyond his baseball years. He made a serious in-game adjustment, clearly, and was solid the rest of the way, kept the Royals in the game, and they go on to win 12-4 with 11 unanswered runs. I mean, how many times this season have we seen the Royals get down by 3 runs or 2 runs or even a run early in the game and not be able to come back? But they are able to come back because Noah Cameron kept them in the game, gave them length that helped save the bullpen that they would need for the next day, depending upon what Rich Hill would do. I mean, Noah Cameron has been incredible. And again, I repeat, where would the Royals be without Noah Cameron this year? I think that's the answer to that question, which can't be truly quantified, I think says it all.
Jake Eisenberg will be listening throughout the weekend out at Kauffman Stadium right here on 96.5 The Fan, and we'll be out there Sunday, so maybe we'll see you there.
Awesome. You'll see Noah Cameron, too. He's lined up for Sunday.
Perfect. There we go. Jake Eisenberg with us here every Friday on Cody and Gold. Yeah, Noah Cameron. I mean, you and I have talked about Cameron as well. I think, look, I get why he's not the favorite, but he should certainly be more in the conversation.
It's egregious how far down the conversation
It is like the 2 or 3 things. I mean, it's the team he plays for not being a first-place team, and not being a playoff team currently. It's definitely that, hey, yeah, he's not a guy that's going to be all energetic on the mound, throwing 100 miles an hour.
He wears sports goggles.
And his call-up wasn't viewed as a big deal at the time. That's just the reality of it. He wasn't a top prospect. It wasn't like when Chase Burns and Mizorowski and Caglione and any of these other prospects this year that got called, Nick Kurtz, that got called up. It just didn't have the same fanfare initially. But his actual performance, of course, has been very, very good.
But that's the part that always bothers me about the way these Rookie of the Year conversations
same thing in the NFL, man. It's narrative driven.
They always say it's because the one thing baseball in particular loves to throw in the face of these awards, like when it comes to MVP, which has actually gotten way closer in the American League because Cal Raleigh has started to make a push with it. The one thing they constantly love to throw in your face is WAR. And based on that stat alone, Noah Cameron is the second most valuable rookie in Major League Baseball this year. And so it's like, but what about that one? And they're like, well, not what I want it to count. And then it's vibes. And you're like, oh, but come on, like, let's be reasonable here, because guys like Roman Anthony still have a better chance to win the Rookie of the Year odds-wise than him. And that's crazy. He has been a far better player than pretty much every rookie not named, Nick Kurtz and what's the short?
Jacob Wilson.
Wilson.
And he's cooled off. I think we're in agreement. I think there's multiple reasons why it's happened. I also think if you're asking, like, is there a chance it changes by the end of the year? Yeah, if the Royals win a bunch of games, if the Royals get above 500, if the Royals are occupying a playoff spot, that would also help his case to where there's at least some respectability to how the odds are showing it and how the national narrative and conversation is. But yeah, Noah Cameron, we'll see him on Sunday. You and I are going to the game on Sunday out at Kauffman Stadium. We'll get back into the Chiefs in particular here in about 12 minutes or so as it relates to training camp, which is winding down practice today, and also a stat that just tells us about the dominance of the last 5 to 7 years from one Patrick Mahomes. But yesterday we were just talking about the divisions and what teams could go from worst to first, and the Raiders were in that national conversation. We were looking at the odds and everything. And then yesterday evening, Ian Rappaport sends out a tweet that says the Raiders are releasing standout defensive tackle Christian Wilkins. This dude was one of the big free agent signings in 2024. He signed a 5-year, $110 million deal, and after one season, they're done. Now, he is dealing with a serious foot injury, $57.5 million fully guaranteed. It's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out from a financial end and CBA and NFLPA getting involved in everything, and what the real story is, what else is going to come out here. But this is one of the better defensive tackles in football that, is coming off an injury, and the Raiders are just wiping their hands clean of it, just like that.
First off, this speaks to just their inability to find good free agents, because this is like the 5th straight high-priced free agent, including guys like Jimmy Garoppolo, Wilkins himself, and all this other stuff. It's like, legitimately, they never make it past year 1 year, and then they're just done, and they're not interested in anymore, and they just kind of make it a mess and constantly make it a mess outside of that. But, like, of course they're screwing this whole thing up too, and they're going to get a grievance filed against him because they're trying to what? Void guarantees because he didn't rehab the way you wanted. Injuries happen. Have you seen a team successfully void guarantees for a player over an injury that they're still technically trying to recover from? How are they planning on voiding those? It seems very unlikely.
We're going to see, I think, some dirt come out here soon. Like, I think we'll see some more.
He's not even trying.
There'll be some new info coming out. But somebody put out the video. Was it 3 days ago or something? Wilkins was dancing. There's just having it, like, meaning the foot seemed fairly healthy. So who knows the full story? But the fact that the Raiders are bailing this quickly, on one hand, you say Raiders are going to Raider, and that's where I'm at. It also does make you wonder, what else is there are we not hearing about for them to walk on a player that everybody agrees was one of the best free agent acquisitions last year, and for you to bail that quickly on Christian Wilkins. Then the other part of the convo is interesting. Okay, well then, if he's actually healthy, where's he ending up? Philadelphia always seems to find these guys. Kansas City's financials don't really support bringing in somebody like this necessarily. But it's interesting. Where does he end up? Does he go to a contender? I hope he doesn't go to Buffalo or something.
I mean, if he can play at some point, there's a lot of teams that need interior defensive line help. That's why Christian Wilkins got $112 million to start with. I just think it's funny that every time, like, I keep pointing this out about just bad organizations, but you can just spot bad organizations from a million miles away because they're always doing stuff that you're like, well, I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
That's certainly a new one. So you gave a guy $112 million, and after a year, you'd like to void $34 million in guarantees, walk on his ass completely, and then get a grievance filed against you? I do think he'll end up with a contender. Why wouldn't you? They're assuming that well, I guess it depends on how good you feel about your NFLPA grievance. Because if that goes okay, well, then you're getting a whole bunch of that money anyway. And if you're getting a whole bunch of that money on the cash in anyway, then you get to, this is the sweet spot like Russell Wilson found himself in a couple of years ago, which is you can take nothing.
Yeah, someone will sign him. He's not getting a multi-year deal somewhere. He's going to get a one-year deal, need to go prove it again, and then he'll have an opportunity to cash in again. You know, in the later report from, I think it was Albert Breer maybe had it, mentioning that the Raiders, at least what they're claiming is that the time basically he waited longer than they would have liked for him to start the rehab process.
Well, you can avoid,
I don't know if that's true or not.
You
but
can void a.
That's what
You
they're going
wait
to
too
try.
long to get signed like that. Goes back to like the Shamar Stewart thing. No wonder you try to protect yourself in contracts. You can void $34 million in guarantees because you thought I got surgery a little late. We could have a disagreement about whether I should get surgery at all. Now it's too late for me to get surgery. I understand I think this is just he wasn't as good of a player as they wanted. They were looking for some way to get out. And then of course there's going to be a grievance and all this other stuff because players don't want you to be able to void guarantees because you started rehab, you got surgery a little later than we were originally thinking. And let's be honest, I'm never going to side with organizations that do stupid things all the time. My guess is that it's more likely the Raiders are doing something bad here than it is Christian Wilkins.
Probably. There were a couple of teams that I saw. I think Mike Vrabel was asked about it this morning. I saw something an hour ago that he said they're going to talk about it. I also saw the Dolphins were mentioned. The Bengals have a need.
He was already on the Dolphins before, yeah.
The Bengals have a need there, but we already know how things go there. Why in the hell would they
specifically need a defensive tackle?
He would make a ton of sense in Cincy, but
I'll be honest. If I was Trey Hendrickson and they went and signed Christian Wilkins before I got my deal, I would be really, really mad.
I know, but they have no Shamar Stewart, and Henderson's not under contract.
I know, but I think what I'm saying is I think they have things to figure out before they get they go get Christian Wilkins. But I agree, they should be one of the teams in the running for it. Patriots are interesting though.
Now Henderson is under contract. He just doesn't like his contract. He actually is under contract.
Technically has one more
he just
year.
doesn't.
Yeah, right.
He says he won't play under the final year of it, but he does actually have a year left.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how this plays out with Wilkins. Not only where he ends up and how
Does Buffalo have the
for
money?
the Chiefs' sake. Hopefully, it's an NFC team. Yeah, I don't know, but you know how this goes. Teams can, if you really want a player, you can find a way to make it happen. Somebody else renegotiates, and they can,
How much is that $1 million deal? Or
right,
the
and that's the
deal?
thing. Like he's not getting 1 year for. Nobody's paying him $20 million this year to play.
How much did Bosa get? 11 and a half,
Something
I think,
that.
from them. I don't know if that's
It would be a
range-ish.
very.
I think it'd be like 5 with a chance to earn 12.
It'd be a ton of incentives because of the noise around the injury and the CBA or the grievance. So whoever signs is probably a 1 year deal. Yeah, with incentives that could be worth $10 million. I mean, honestly, it could be $10 million worth of incentives or something crazy based off of that. So we'll see. Obviously, there's still 40-something days till the season. Plenty of time for him to land with a new team, get up to speed. But Christian Wilkins, no longer a member of the Las Vegas Raiders. Good news for the AFC West, I would say. That is for sure. Up next, though, there is a stat that really tells the story of the past 7 years. It's pretty remarkable, and we'll update you on Camp Darling Island. No elimination today. We're setting up for a double elimination on Monday. That's next.
This is Cody and Gold.
You will not decorate my balls, period. I will decorate my balls.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. 96.5, The Fan.
Lowe's knows big savings make a big difference, especially when you're shopping for appliances. Hurry in to get up to 30% off select major appliances. Plus, My Lowe's Rewards members get free delivery, free haul away, free installation and parts on purchases of $2,500 or more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 7/30. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Price, delivery time, and vehicle availability may vary based on order size and location. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com/delivery for more details.
The success you've already had matters at University of Maryland Global Campus because we're a school for real life. An accredited state university, UMGC lets you earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and relevant life and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. We offer affordable tuition and online and hybrid courses. Classes start August 13th. Apply now and save with no application fee. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
For you, Underdog is now available to play in your state, and you can go yard all baseball season long with Underdog's Champions Game. As we get ready to roll into the 4th of July holiday, the baseball action is heating up, and Underdog is a leading place to make all of your sports selections. To play, all you have to do is download the app and choose whether a player will go higher or lower on one of their stats. You can choose from things like home runs, total bases, and so much more. And once that entry feels good, you can play with as little as $1, and if you get everything right, you could win up to 1,000 times your money. Maybe it's time for Vinny Pasquantino to start heating up, and you love the over on his his total bases this weekend. Download the Underdog app and sign up with promo code Bob to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit with promo code Bob. Must be 18 and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See UnderdogFantasy.com/web/deposit-match-terms. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights. We can reawaken any space to make your happy place your home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 Pro on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16 Pro. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Hand sanitizer. It's lavender.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check this pocket. Oh, mints?
Really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins. I'm a mom. Wait 1 sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
It's our best iPhone offer ever. Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line $100 plus a month on experience beyond finance agreement $999.99 and qualifying ported. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Pay off via virtual prepaid card. Allow 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hot damn! Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea just got harder with Twisted Tea Extreme. Twisted Tea Extreme is made with real brewed tea, goes down smooth, and an 8% kick of alcohol. Dial up the fun with Twisted Tea Extreme. Keep it twisted!
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
It's time. Time for the pro to get everything for the job delivered. Large orders of lumber, doors, windows, paint, plumbing, anything the job needs, all from one partner. Get it today with same-day delivery. Get it tomorrow with next-day delivery on 50,000 plus products. Or get it on your timeline with scheduled delivery on everything from framing to flooring. It's time to get your whole job, all your jobs delivered. Ask about all our new delivery options at the Pro Desk. The Home Depot Pro, it's about time.
Eat up, buddy. It's almost time for school.
You take charge of your home. You take charge of your work. Don't forget to take charge of your gut health too with Nature Made Probiotics. Nature Made has clinically studied probiotics that work with your digestive tract's natural bacteria, so you won't miss a beat in your daily routine. Find us in the vitamin aisle. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can watch every show, plus video clips and shorts, all right from your phone, desktop, or tablet. The Fan's YouTube channel at 965 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
Coming up in 20 minutes, we will get to the trash of the day. We will also potentially check in with our guy Nate Taylor as training camp practice is winding down up in St. Joe. If you're wondering why we're in studio, if you're watching the video stream, you can see we're in studio. Obviously, plenty of rain in the forecast. At one point in time this morning, practice was going to get moved indoors. That's why fans are also not at practice today. So it did not make sense for us to drive up there today. But we will be back there Monday. And, of course, our training camp coverage brought to you by Break Time, Missouri's homegrown convenience stores. Download their mobile app and find a location near you. Before we get to a little Camp Darling Island update today, where there's no elimination going on, you saw a tweet come across the timeline last night, and boy, oh boy, we don't get into like too much of the DVOA stuff because some of those conversations drive me crazy, but
it can be it can be down the nerdy road.
But this stat just tells the story and why, if you're like a Bills fan, you should be so frustrated.
It explains everything about Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, and this current run. Because Aaron Schatz, who we've had on the show multiple times, he runs a lot of DVOA models, which is just a reminder, DVOA is essentially an efficiency metric. It's their version of like team war, if you want to like simplify it. It's just saying the amount of value your team has over a stretch. This stat has been a very good predictor of teams that go on and win the Super Bowl. You got to be at a certain threshold in order to be considered a Super Bowl contender, essentially, in the DVO metric. Across the last 20 years, it's been a very good indicator of who is a real Super Bowl contender. He put together a graph, and it was the best runs of DVOA with no Super Bowl appearance at all during the run. Number one is the 2020 through 2024 Buffalo Bills, the last 5 years of the Buffalo Bills. Number two was the 2020 through 2024 Baltimore Ravens. 2019 through 23 on Baltimore was fourth on this list. 2019 through 23 at Buffalo was seventh on this list. Hell, there's even a Chiefs team on here. We can get to that part alone. This was the most Patrick Mahomes is ruining the world stat for anyone I've ever seen. These are the two best, in their opinions. 5-year runs of DVOA we have seen out of two teams with no Super Bowl appearances. They're at the same time directly against Patrick Mahomes. And not just that one couldn't get through, Gold. Both couldn't. They're both on all-time DVOA runs with no Super Bowl appearances, and they can't go because of, in my opinion, two men, probably Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, but definitively Patrick Mahomes.
How many times have they single-handedly beaten those teams?
In the playoffs? Pretty much every time either of them's been on a run.
I know
pretty much
that,
lose them every year. Buffalo has lost to Cincy in the playoffs once. Baltimore
23.
The
Bengals lost to Cincy, or they lost to the Bengals. I think it's one time. It's once each to the Bengals, but then every time it literally has been the Chiefs.
Correct.
Every other time.
It's just, look, this is numbers to go with what we've all kind of discussed just as a narrative, which is you right now have, in this era of the NFL, a player that is blocking you from reaching your goal. If you're Buffalo, if you're Josh Allen, if you're Lamar, and if you're Baltimore. And what you just laid out numbers-wise, Cody, is just the numbers to back up that very thing. You know, we've talked in the past, of course, the comparison to the NBA and why guys like Charles Barkley and some other all-time greats didn't win titles because Michael Jordan existed. This is just, like, we all know this exists. These are just the numbers that actually support it.
To just how bad it's been
and
for them.
that the Bills have been really freaking good, but they just haven't bursted through. The Baltimore Ravens from 2020 to 2024, pretty darn good football team. They ran into Patrick Mahomes. But it is notable, like, those are the two teams that are on that list. Like, for those that are also questioning, what's another, like, is there a third team in the picture? No, it's been about Kansas City, Buffalo, and Baltimore in the NFL really the last 5 years. I understand the Eagles have won it, but if we're talking about like teams in terms of having 4-year stretches in a row, and consistent stretches, those are the three teams: the Chiefs, Baltimore, and Buffalo. And one of them has won rings, the Chiefs. The other two, of course, haven't.
So two Drew
They haven't
Brees
even
runs.
been, which is crazy. They've never even been.
That's what stands out. Two Drew Brees teams were on this, by the way, speaking to our Sean Payton.
The underachieving Sean Payton
but what does,
Drew Brees.
So I guess here's a follow-up question on this is, the other three teams on this that aren't Baltimore and Buffalo, because clearly this is a stat that's like, Mahomes is holding these teams down. They are legitimately great teams who by now would have played in or maybe even won a Super Bowl had they just simply been an NFC team instead of been on the AFC side. Two of the teams on there are two different 5-year runs from Andy Reid-led Philadelphia Eagles teams. And bottom of the 10 on this list is the 5-year run that culminates in the first year Patrick Mahomes is a starter, where they come up short in the AFC title game against them, which meant the entire Alex Smith era. So, like, not only does this point out that Patrick Mahomes is holding these other teams down, it proves that Andy Reid needed Patrick Mahomes in order to get over the hump. It also probably means that Andy Reid was great for a stretch, that he had those kind of years, and he didn't have Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson or Drew Brees or some of these other quarterbacks that are really impressive on here. He did it with
Donovan McNabb and
Alex
Smith.
A lot of dudes, right, during those runs, and still managed to be in there. he needed Mahomes to get over the hump. Desperately needed. This, that, in a lot of ways makes me actually feel better about the post-Andy Reid era. That he'll be better without him than Andy Reid. He'll survive.
Does some of it also, I think, on the flip side to where you're saying Andy needed Mahomes to basically overcome that stuff where maybe Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson need a better head coach? You know, not to say that Harbaugh's a bad coach or McDermott's a bad coach, but to get you over that hump when you're dominating in that level of a stretch, you need both.
Or, they're just much like what Tom Brady did, or they're just flat out in the middle of a stretch where they're going up against that dude. I mean, like Josh Allen is great, but he's still not Patrick Mahomes. Lamar Jackson is great. He's still not Patrick Mahomes. And I understand we're talking about the coaching angle, which there's definitely fair criticism towards Sean McDermott. But at the same time, I just think they're in a spot. If you're Josh Allen, you are waiting this thing out to a certain extent for Mahomes to, I guess, eventually have a true dip in play. I understand last year people will talk about Mahomes wasn't as good, and I would agree. But is he actually just that now the rest of his career? I don't believe it. So
and even in that year, he went to the Super. He still was past you.
Yeah, he still beat you in a playoff game. And like I go back and forth on this with people that aren't on Kansas City on the weekends, the show that I do. And I've always said, brought up the Josh Allen stuff, and they think I'm crazy for saying, well, they just want to base it off the future, not the past. And I go, I get that if Patrick Mahomes was 35, if Andy Reid had retired, if Travis Kelce was gone, if Chris Jones was gone. But right now, what has changed from last year that you think they're going to be way, way worse? And what's going to change for Josh Allen? Well, eventually Josh Allen's just going to win one. And I tend to agree. Eventually he will beat Patrick Mahomes in a playoff game. But why would I think it's this year? Maybe 5 years from now when Mahomes is 35 and Andy Reid's not around and all that.
Josh Allen will be 35 by that time, right?
I understand, but my point is my point would be, I think you guys might be right. Eventually he's going to win, but why is everybody acting like this is the year that it's going to happen? Mahomes isn't even 30 until 3 weeks into the season, and Reid and the entire coaching staff is together. We think maybe they found a left tackle solution. There's a chance they're in a better spot even if they win fewer games this year.
Cody, what stretch was the Andy Reid Eagles?
Two of them, two different ones.
So because it's 5-year stretches, it's really a 6-year stretch, but twice. The same as the Buffalo and Baltimore
07 to 11 and 06 to 10.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So the entire run that he was going to NFC Championship games, but not going to the Super Bowl.
From 07 to 11, he only made the conference title game once. He was eliminated in the wild card twice with those Eagles teams. So, I mean, even in terms of them...
Got to have the quarterback.
In terms of them, because they had a better run in the earlier stretch. But in regards to what you guys are saying and what we've seen with Andy and Patrick Mahomes, them not getting out before the conference title. They've made it to a conference title game every single time. Mahomes has given that capability where you pair both of them together, they're not going to get eliminated before the conference title game, period. And that's what we've seen over the last 7 years. It does seem that based on what we've seen from Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, or just the teams in general, they need Mahomes to get eliminated before they play them in the playoffs. Otherwise, we know how it's going to go because it's only gone one way, and it's a loss every single time in the playoffs.
It is crazy to me that the narrative, Gold's right. There is absolutely, in my opinion, zero reason to believe that this is the time we're going to get him. Last year, when Patrick Mahomes had statistically the worst season of his career, and the defense wasn't even I don't even think the defense was quite as good as it was the previous 2 years. So the defense takes a slight step back. They're 25th in sacks instead of 3rd. They still don't get turnovers. They're one of the most penalized teams in the league. Patrick Mahomes has a bad statistical year. They won 15 games and still went to the Super Bowl. Now you're going to get him? This is your moment? You can't play schedule. They play a difficult schedule every year. They play the first place schedule every single year. They take on Baltimore and Buffalo and Cincy and every team that you think is decent every year. None of that has changed over the last 5 years. And then you get in a playoff game, you shrink, they don't. I think some of this is just being a better playoff performer, not that the Bills are a worse regular season team or the Ravens are a worse regular season team. I think some of this is what happens to big-time players in big-time games. And Patrick Mahomes is just one of those, I will drag anything I have to do most of the time in order to win a football game. I understand he's lost a couple Super Bowls, but he'll lay it all on the line at some point.
And we've said it 100 times at this point in time in the offseason, but it truly is just people saw them get their butts kicked in the Super Bowl, and everybody thinks, I shouldn't say everybody, but a lot of people nationally think, okay, that was it. And you and I have said this over and over, like, I can't wait to see what they do the first 2 weeks of the season, because if they go out and beat the Chargers and the Eagles, let's say, and how quickly everybody's going to jump back on board, and it's going to be pretty funny. And you'll start seeing, like, the hate exist again. Right now, people aren't really hating on the Chiefs. They just think they're done. So they're not making up stuff about the refs or Taylor Swift conspiracies and crap like that. But once the team starts winning again, if they show any signs of what they were in a 15-win season, people forget they won 15 games last year, I think, nationally, then people will start with the crazy stuff again.
I mean, and if you look at, the Ravens and Bills play each other in week 1. Then the Ravens have Browns, Lions, Chiefs. The Bills, in terms of their opening part of the schedule, Ravens, then Jets, Dolphins, Saints. The Ravens could potentially, with their schedule, if the Ravens are 1-3, let's say they lose to the Bills and they beat the Browns, but then they lose to the Lions and then the Chiefs. The Ravens are 1-3. All of a sudden, that conversation, like the narrative of what you're saying,
last year though, the Ravens got off to that kind of start last year.
Yeah, everything can totally because they lost to the Raiders, didn't they? I think last year.
Yes. Uh-huh. Yeah. Gardner Minshew. Gardner Minshew.
Oh
he always gets somebody.
Gardner Minshew and Brock Bowers. They found a way to get it done. Actually, Devontae Adams was still on the Raiders at that point in time, wasn't he? Because he got traded midseason to the Jets or whatever it was. So yeah, we'll see. Like the one argument I guess you would have that I'll listen to it all would just be that, all right, the Bills' schedule is so soft, their division's not great, so they're going to be a 1 seed this year. So they're going to play one fewer game in the playoffs, and the Chiefs will have to go to Buffalo in the AFC title game. Now, we've seen Mahomes go on the road and win 2 games in a row in playoffs already, but that would be the only part where I will give you that the Bills' path might be better than it's ever been.
They've also lost multiple times at home in the playoffs.
Correct.
The Bills have.
If the Bills are not a number 1 seed this year, then it's what the hell happened?
Yeah.
Truly.
They just continue to let things fall apart on them.
Their toughest game is probably against the Eagles? Or Chiefs. Chiefs, and then they play the Ravens and the Bengals. But other than that, it's soft.
I don't remember how many games
because the division stinks.
Can't remember how many games they play before they play Kansas City, but I want to say the Bills could be like 7-1 or 6-1, something like that, before they even play Kansas City.
They play 7 games before the Chiefs.
Okay.
They get 6 layups every year.
Other than the Ravens, they probably should be 7-1. If you look at them in terms of being favored, they're actually favored against the Ravens too. They theoretically should be 8-0 if it's the spread.
They could lose to the Ravens in week 1, but then Jets, Miami, New Orleans, the Patriots, the Falcons,
the Panthers.
Those should all be wins.
It's a great schedule for Buffalo.
They should
really
be either
is.
undefeated or have 1 loss before they take on Kansas City. I did want to switch over to college basketball for just a minute. Are you worried about your guy?
Yeah, of course I am.
Yesterday, Bill Self obviously had emergency stints put in, according to multiple reports over in Lawrence. And then that brings up the normal question, which is, how long is Self going to keep doing this? Glad he's okay. Glad that they said he's going to make a full recovery and all this stuff. But, it's an intense job, and now you're having heart trouble. That feels like it starts to signify like nearing the end of your coaching career, and people already thought they were winding down in the Bill Self here in Kansas basketball.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely concerned. And as you said, just obviously away from basketball, you're talking about somebody that having symptoms. We all know 2.5 years ago, he was in the hospital, didn't coach the Big 12 tournament and in the first game or whatever it was of the NCAA tournament. And he spoke a lot about that afterwards and his own health and the heart issues that he had with that. And then now to hear that he had some sort of symptom or two and resulted in stents being placed. It sounds like they believe he will make a full recovery. Thank goodness. But you said it. It's a high stress, high intensity job. College basketball coaching is at the highest level, and the pressure and everything that goes with that. And so, one, you got to make sure just you as the person are, and not jeopardizing your own health. And then 2, just with where we're at in college basketball and everything, I think it'd be foolish to not think that we already knew you were kind of towards the end of the career anyway. But I would say like the likelihood of him only coaching another year or 2 max went up drastically yesterday. That's just the reality of it. I obviously know in terms of where the program is at and everything, and he's always wanted to make sure he sets them up in a great spot moving forward, and he takes the kind of ownership of the program very, very seriously and making sure it's left in an unbelievable spot. I also think, not that he will be the heir apparent, but I also think bringing Jacques Vaughn back to the program as an assistant is another sign of
he seems like a possible
moving forward. But it's scary stuff for sure. And I think it'd be foolish if you're a Kansas fan not to think that, all right, this could make the timeline even shorter.
Yeah, I guess I kind of thought maybe he had 5 years left of being the Kansas head basketball coach. But now in retrospect, this surgery, coupled with the fact that they do have, this is not the Danny Manning. This isn't the the fan created. It could be this guy who's the heir apparent. Jacques Vaughn was an NBA head coach. He played for your university. This is a legacy in a slightly different way. He would not be one of those. You and I have talked about a lot of the potential candidates, like Ben McCollum and other guys who've been available. He'd be like, that's not a Kansas level hire. Jacques Vaughn is. That would be a Kansas level hire. I'm not saying they would do that. But it does make it seem
I have
a
no
lot.
idea if he would end up being their replacement, but obviously he would be one of the candidates for that if especially in the next year or two, if in fact Bill Self decided to retire after this year or the next.
I kind of feel like he's only got a couple years left.
If I set the over under
major, 2.5,
I was going to say 2.5 as well. It's funny.
I take the under at 2.
The day after I hear that he's having another procedure, it's hard. It's hard for me to take the over. It just is.
I mean, if you even look at the other guys who he's been around, I mean, Cal's still coaching, but Roy Williams is retired. Jim Boeheim is retired. Jay Wright is retired. Coach K is retired. Like you're getting to that point where, with all the changes in college sports in general, plus the health stuff, it just he's one of the last of that bunch.
I think how they do this year, honestly, maybe I'm way off on this. I think it plays a huge role.
I mean,
if they go,
you also know
if
that Peterson's leaving. He's not like he's going to have him again.
Yeah, I think
this year.
I think it depends on also what the level of performance is this year. We know last year was an extremely tough and disappointing season by their own standard that they set in Lawrence. And depending on how this year goes, by the way, on both ends of it, like on one hand, you can make the argument if they're quote unquote back, that also maybe does that make you want to keep coaching? On the other hand, you say, oh, do I want to go out on top kind of thing? It could go both ways. Nobody other than Bill.
If he won the title this year,
nobody other than Bill Self knows ultimately what his own body and how he's feeling, but also what his timeline is. I think it's very obvious, though. And we said this before even yesterday's incident when we were discussing in March. Like you're in the final years here. You just are. If you're, he's always said way before the health issues came up, he was not going to be 75, 80 years old coaching. That's not his thing. He didn't want to do that.
But I do say, like, if let's say Darren Peterson rolls in, that's their top guy, right? And they go and they win the chip. Yeah, they go to the chip and win the whole thing this year. You got to kind of think it'd be tempting. It'd be pretty tempting if I were Bill Self to be like, you know what? I've had a great career. I've had a great run and won the national championship. But you're right. He does take the steward of the program seriously.
Absolutely.
I think if you take the Kansas job, you kind of have to take the steward of the program part seriously. And so, like, how you leave the program and in what shape you leave it is probably going to be a very serious conversation for him at some point in this.
Trash of the day.
All right, let's get to that. And then during the Chiefs Red Half Hour, we will update you on the Camp Darling conversation as practice wrapped up in St. Joe today. Trash of the day takes us to a story involving one Chuck E. Cheese.
Mr. Cheese.
Do we have the audio of Chuckster?
It should be in the folder, yes.
Okay, why do I not see it? I need to scroll up further. Maybe that's me.
Just refresh.
Maybe I need to refresh.
Just a refresh.
Cody, you're going to have to play it. It's not showing up on mine. I'm in.
What?
I don't know why.
Did you search something?
Here we
your
go.
filter?
We are back.
Okay.
Chuck E. Cheese had an incident with the law the other day, it turns out.
All right, let's talk about this arrest caught. Chuck E. Cheese in Tallahassee, Florida. The Chuck E. Cheese mascot was arrested in full costume. Police arrested this guy. He's 41 years old. Jermel Jones was allegedly creating and committing credit card fraud. Families looked on as the arrest happened in front of the kids in the middle of a child's birthday party.
In front of the kids.
Police said they were planning to put the cuffs on him outside of the public view, but this guy Jones tensed up and started resisting, and so they had to put the cuffs on him in front of the kids. Oh, goodness.
Not in front of the kids. That's from Fox
Chuck E. Cheese
Philadelphia,
in front of a kid's
actually.
birthday party is sick.
I mean,
some of the faces too. I mean, they were
crazy.
just distraught. What's happening to Chucky?
Could you imagine if, like, I had my kid out at the Little K and they're just like slapping the cuffs on Slugger? You'd be like, Dad, what's Slugger do? And you're like, no.
Yeah.
I don't know, but like, let's just leave it at it for just a minute.
Let's go the other way.
Arresting Chuck E. Cheese in front of the kids.
Hey, man, it's credit card fraud or whatever, allegedly. Do you think? I mean,
can he take the head off?
Well, they did once they got to the parking lot.
He had the whole costume on when they're cuffing the man. He didn't even have like part of the costume off, dude. He had the head on.
Text line says you could say Chuck E. Cheese was stealing that cheese and got caught. That's true. Where was Mr. Munch? Where was Jasper? Where was
They're not rats.
Helen Henry?
That's right. Dude, you've seen Jasper.
You're right,
that looked like ain't no rat.
They're not snitches. No.
Yeah, you know.
They are not going to snitch.
Krusty the Cat. Where were they all at?
You guys have got to see the photo if you haven't seen it, because that's really what truly makes it. There are two kids in the background just looking like shocked, like,
oh yeah, they're
Mr.
stunned.
Cheese? And he's just like, they're trying to duck his head under the door to like escort him outside the Chuck E. Cheese. It's insane. It is crazy though, I'll say. Like, just to get arrested in general and then to have to explain to people, like, hey, when you got arrested, what were the circumstances around it? And you got to show them that you were in a full-blown Chuck E. Cheese costume. That would be that person's, and let's just say, you know, they got in a bad, like, that would be that person's nickname for the rest of time. You go to jail, that's your name.
Chuck.
You're Chuck, you're Cheese, you're
Charles Cheese.
Charles Cheese. You're Pasquale's Pizza. Whatever. Your nickname is going to your showbiz. I don't care how far back you want to go. Your nickname for the rest of time is related to that Chuck E. Cheese costume. I don't care I don't even care. We'll just call you Chuck E. Cheese. That's your nickname for life.
Come with me, Chucky. That happened at a Florida Chuck E. Cheese. On July 3rd, a woman reported $100 of fraudulent charges on her card after a recent visit to Chuck E. Cheese and claimed to have traced the activity to a specific employee. So that's what happened.
Man, so it was, you never expect the mascot, right? He's not running
Police
the till.
report said,
ironically,
police reports said that one of the officers arresting the employee identified him by his mascot's name, saying, "Chucky, come with me, Chucky." Which I wish we had audio of that. That's amazing.
Just again, kids playing little arcade games. You're throwing the ball in the bucket, and they're like, Chuck E. Cheese, freeze! Don't move. Hands where I can see. Will you give him a pat down?
Don't think about it, Chuck.
You got all kinds of weapons in the costume. That's an intense pat down, dude.
I guess you could say in a way, Chucky was like, if this person, like, of all people, who in this place would have committed fraud to this customer, you go to the rat first.
Dude, I mean,
there was a rat in the kitchen, and it was Chuck E. Cheese.
I mean, it's just wild to get arrested in that thing. The photo, the news story. It is all just.
Also, then what happens the rest? Do they have a backup Chuck E. Cheese costume? Like, do they have to ask the police? Hey, we need somebody to still be Chuck for the rest of the day for the kids.
Do you guys mind leaving that behind? We're just gonna have it. We're gonna have to call in. It was Billy's day off, but unfortunately, we might need him to come in for a little bit.
There's no Chuck the rest of the day. If you go to Chuck E. Cheese, the kids go there and there's no Chuck.
There's no Chuck E. Cheese today. You're like, oh no, sorry.
We got Pasquale.
He's unavailable. That's why they need the animatronic band, Then at the very least, you get
someone says best nickname, his nickname, Cheeseaholic.
I mean, they didn't arrest him in the Chiefsaholic uniform, though,
Oh, that would have been.
But that's what happened here.
Again,
man's in his
but he had
uniform.
Because that was the whole thing. Remember, initially, the whole Chiefsaholic, everybody thought he was wearing the wolf mask and costume, and no, he had a ski mask or whatever, goggles or whatever.
It's a little too obvious to.
Florida, Chuck E. Cheese. There you go. That's the trash of the day. Up next, we'll get to a little Camp Darling Island. We'll talk more about the running back battle between Hunt and Mitchell, including what happened at practice today, right here on 96.5 The Fan.
Watch Cody and Gold on YouTube by subscribing to the 96.5 YouTube channel. Cody and Gold is brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, where we've successfully treated thousands of men for low testosterone and helped them feel like their old selves again. Please take a moment and listen to how we help this patient.
Hi, my name is John, and I've been on ED and testosterone treatment at Heartland Men's Health for the past 15 months. I could tell, I was starting to go downhill, and my wife kept telling me, well, you need to go to a clinic that'll specialize in that. And that's what eventually led me into the men's clinic here. treatment, in my opinion, is a miracle. I was able to perform to an elevated position that, quite honestly, I never thought I'd see again. For my fellow men out there, if you're feeling that you're not up to par, I encourage you, contact Heartland Men's Health, and you will see a dramatic difference.
Thank you. It's true. Your initial appointment includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Why are you still paying interest? Reiselman Nissan just dropped 0% APR for 60 months on new Rogues, Muranos, and Pathfinders. Or stretch it, 1.9% for 72 months. Or 84 months at just 3.49%. Need torque? Grab a new Frontier and get up to $6,000 in total rebates. And if you're leasing, you pay no sales tax at Reiselman Nissan. 0. These are real deals, but they won't last. Tap over to ReiselmanNissan.com. Reiselman Nissan. Every customer, every time.
Would you be impressed by a factory copy of the Mona Lisa? Of course not. So then why are we supposed to be impressed with so-called designer jewelry? This is Gene at House of Diamonds. Big-name designers create one original piece, then manufacture thousands of copies, pricing them like they were all originals. That's not how we do things at House of Diamonds. Each piece of jewelry we create is an original, designed and crafted by hand, just for you. No copies, no mass production in an overseas factory, just one of a kind, like the love of your life. And our clients know they'll never see their design on anyone else. They also know that unlike big-name designers, we'll never use lab diamonds to pad our profits. Why pay for factory-made designer copies when you can own a handcrafted, one-of-a-kind original for the same price with real diamonds and gemstones? House of Diamonds, one-of-a-kind jewelry for your one-of-a-kind love. For over 30 years on the southeast corner of College and Quivira.
If you love finding the deal and a bargain brings you bliss, the Hy-Vee 5-day sidewalk sale is cause for celebration. This Wednesday through Sunday, stock up and save big on dozens of pantry staples like Roma pizzas, 4 for $10, Pepsi 24 packs, $9.99, Frito-Lay's chips just $1.99, Gatorade 8-pack bottles just $5.99, and Sunbelt granola bars 4 for $10. Hurry to the huge 5-day sidewalk sale this week only at Hy-Vee.
Even though it's summertime, everybody's still busy, and that's where Hy-Vee Market Grill comes in. They've got the best dining value in town. Every day, they've got a meal deal from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. And for $8 per person or less, you can treat the whole family to dinner, like smoked chicken Monday, pork chop Tuesday, cheeseburger and fries on Wednesday, and chicken enchiladas on Friday. And don't forget steak Thursday with a perfectly seasoned steak, garlic mashed potatoes, and sweet corn for $12. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner, it's only at Hy-Vee Market Grill.
Lowe's knows big savings make a big difference, especially when you're shopping for appliances. Hurry in to get up to 30% off select major appliances. Plus, My Lowe's Rewards members get free delivery, free haul away, free installation and parts on purchases of $2,500 or more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 7/30. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Price, delivery time, and vehicle availability may vary based on order size and location. Exclusions apply. See Lowes.com/delivery for more details.
Oh no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
My debit card.
their debit card.
Where'd I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound? That's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eloquist.com or call 1-855-ELOQUIS.
Get one free set of Brake Best brake pads when you buy 2 brake rotors. Visit O'Reilly Auto Parts. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
If Old Spice Deep Sea Super Hydration Body Wash were music, what would it sound like? Start with the deep sounds of Old Spice's ocean waves and kelp. Layer on the smooth, renewing moisture. You wouldn't hear any parabens or phthalates because Old Spice Deep Sea hasn't got any. But you would hear that vitamin B3 for healthier looking skin. So while your regular body wash sounds like this, Old Spice sounds like this. Sounds like it smells amazing.
In a world parched for excitement, Twisted Tea's your refreshing thrill ride of flavor. The hard iced tea that's smooth, made with real brewed tea and 5% alcohol. Twisted Tea. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Chiefs coverage sponsored by Renner Garage Door. RENNER forward and back.
Almost Andy Reid here. Renner Garage Door has proudly served KC for nearly 70 years. Get your free estimate today. RENNER forward and back.
RENNER, RENNER.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Welcome in to the Chiefs Red Half Hour. Every day at 11:30 with Cody and Gold on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
It is the Chiefs Red Half Hour here on Cody and Gold.
Brought to you by All Weather Decks, Kansas City's most respected deck builder. Check them out at allweatherdecks.net.
Training camp practice has wrapped up in St. Joe. No fans were out there. Weather was an issue. That's why we were back in studio. And our training camp coverage is brought to you by Break Time, Missouri's homegrown convenience stores. Download their mobile app and find a location near you. Before we get to Kareem Hunt versus Elijah Mitchell and what some of the reports are out of camp today based on who was getting some of those reps. Remember, no pads until Sunday. That's when camp really starts to ratchet up a little bit. It is time for a quick update on Camp Darling Island.
9 players arrive in St. Joe for Camp Island. Only one can take home the final prize. Who will be the 2025 Chiefs Camp Darling?
We had our first elimination yesterday. Jaquarius Spivey
Tough.
Eliminated. Now, with a preseason performance that features a touchdown or two, he can get back on the island. We've all seen reality TV before. You're never really gone from the show, okay?
You're just gone for now.
Yeah, you can always come back. That means Brashard Smith, Jared Wiley, Elijah Mitchell, still alive. Tyquan Thornton, Jake Brenningstool, Omar Norman-Lott, who continues to get a lot of love. We're expected to hear from him today as well. And then Jalen Royals, Noel Williams. Those are who currently reside on Camp Darling Island. I saw a report today, I think it was Nate Taylor maybe, that Noel Williams was working in with the ones today. I like hearing about that.
He also said that this year's performing as good as a veteran guy has been Omar Norman-Lott. Compared him to Jaden Hicks.
Yeah, based on how he pops out on the field. You see him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, pads Sunday can change some things, but if he's still looking good with pads on Sunday and we get to the first preseason game in a week or two and he has a nice showing, he will be the story of camp. And Omar Norman-Lott, Drew, you drafted him. You got to be feeling good about the early start to Camp Darling. Right now, he would be the favorite to win Camp Darling. He would.
He really would.
I definitely like that pick, yes.
Now it's July 25th.
I think I'd have lost one of my players today. Had we been doing this, all three of my players feel right in the middle.
I would have advocated for us to eliminate to Jared Wiley.
Jared Wiley.
I would have said you got to take him off the board because everybody else, Royals has been mentioned, and Noah Williams, Brenningstool, Norman-Lott for sure. Elijah Mitchell today. We're going to talk about the running backs. He was running ahead of Kareem Hunt just for today. And then obviously Tyquan Thornton continues to have a very nice camp. But it hasn't started yet, man. Like Sunday's the first real day. So
my guy gets to stay.
Monday we'll be back up there. They won't have padded practice every day, but Sunday's the first day of pads.
You need a Jared Wiley one-handed catch or something like that.
I need a Chiefs. I need like Mahomes throwing him a dime deep. I got to get him on the social media channel. He's at risk. I'm not trying to pretend like Jared Wiley. I think Elijah Mitchell's at risk too. I'm not saying it's alone. I thought Noel Williams was a little bit of trouble when Spags at the podium talked about him negatively. Said that things were looking too fast for him.
Yeah.
And that they were going to try to get him some competition. He let him work with the ones a little bit today. So he probably would have been okay today. But I'm going to need Jared Wiley to get a big catch over the weekend. or come Monday morning when we do a double elimination, that man's in trouble. In trouble. Although he feels like a classic get back into a preseason game mix,
For
too.
some of these guys, it's going to take a preseason game, third quarter action with Gardner Minshew or Bailey Zappi or Oladokin or whatever. It's going to take some play there. And everybody's like, why is he not getting more playing time? That seems where Tyquan Thornton, where Jared Wiley, certainly seems like that's where Brashard Smith could make up some ground here.
Yes. He's going to get some preseason snaps.
I was gonna, yeah, it
Give
feels
my
like,
guy Brashard Smith some time. He's doing everything, too.
I was gonna say if he gets hit on a wheel route and scores a touchdown in the first preseason game, I mean, all of a sudden, I think the buzz will really start to get going for Brashard once the games begin.
He just breaks off one 12, 15-yard run.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to notice. Jalen Royals for that way, too.
Yeah.
Feels very safe. Your guy's a little bit tough. Omar Norman-Lott is being talked about like a guy, but at some point, plays defensive line. If his snaps don't stand out in a preseason game, he should be the favorite or might be the best player. But being the camp darling isn't just about being the best player. This isn't about, that's not what this is. This isn't who's the best rookie or who's the best.
Got to be kind of a fan favorite, too.
Yeah, this is about being the camp darling. So, I will say, Nate Taylor being an ESPN guy, hyping up your guy, that helps. That definitely helps the fans get on board. But
it definitely does.
He's going to have to do something in order to make it work.
So that's a little Camp Darling Island update. We go back to the island on Monday. That is St. Joe, by the way. And maybe there will not be any. Maybe there won't be any rain.
Well-known waterfront.
Yeah, beautiful property up there.
Lovely
water.
beaches.
Did you see real quick? Thinking of that, Missouri Western obviously is where camp is at, and Mo West and John Gruden has for a year now been doing this thing on social media where basically if you're a college football program and you send him a box full of gear, he'll open it and talk up your program.
Those.
And it's pretty cool. And it's smart marketing for the schools. And it's a genius idea for John Gruden because he just keeps getting free stuff sent to him that I'm assuming he gives to staff members or whatever at Barstool. But did you see that Mo West sent them yesterday, I think it was, or 2 days ago? The Griffin. So he has got some Griffin gear and everything. That's kind of cool. So Pitt State's done it. I think Kansas has sent stuff. I think K-State. I think all the locals at this point pretty much have sent it. But that was cool. I didn't expect to see that. But yeah, Mo West, smart on them. They got mentioned by John Gruden yesterday. He was opening up a box of their gear and stuff. I thought that was neat because, of course, that's where we've been broadcasting from.
Yeah, I think so too. But also, you think he's gonna? Does he wear this stuff?
Some of it.
Does Gruden just rock a Mo West polo, just kicking it outside?
I think some of it. Otherwise, they give it to Barstool has a ton of employees. So let's say there's anybody that has any connection to any of the schools. I'm sure he gives some to them or gives some away or whatever. Maybe.
If you look at some of the videos, he'll have on a Clemson pair of shorts with a K-State hat with a USC shirt, and it's like, what are we doing here?
What do you mean, what are you doing here?
That's you.
That's you. You're describing you.
That is how you dress.
I can't believe you just criticized somebody for wearing different gear.
The reason why is because I don't wear 3 different schools at the exact same time.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
If I were to wear a K-State shirt with a Missouri hat, you'd be like, what the hell are you doing,
I would
Drew?
have some questions about that, but...
You might as well at this point, Drew. I mean,
Hey, I'll be honest. And again, we have the best text line ever, but the EMAW fans have turned on me totally and completely. It seems like every single day we talk about the colleges, I get told that I'm banished from Manhattan from being a Cats fan, which is it's just not fair.
That happened because day one you showed up, you adopted them, you said that was going to be your local squad, and then by October. You flipped to Mizzou.
I didn't flip.
And then
they
were done.
Real
and
about
then
K-State. I keep it real and honest about the teams.
You have a new podcast out this week too, right?
I do. There's one that just recently came out talking about recapping SEC Media Days.
249 miles, right?
249 miles of college football.
Or as Bink thinks it's like actually 200 and something, 60 or 70.
He disagrees with your mileage?
Yeah, there's a mileage dispute with Bink.
No,
Why is he starting a dispute over the mileage?
I have no idea.
I think it's because it's me, in all honesty. I think it's just because.
I saw Bink in the building earlier. He's in for CDOT, I think, this afternoon. So Bink is in the building. He is ready already.
He showed up at 9:30. He was ready to go. He's ready to go 4 hours early.
Yeah, but I think 9:15, 9:30, and he's not on the air till 2. He's ready, man.
I do really hope, Drew, that on your podcast you address the Memphis trying to get in the Big 12.
I mentioned that as well and talked about that.
Did you talk about Chuck E. Cheese getting arrested or no? Does that not make college football podcast?
If he was arrested at...
What if it was like Georgia Bulldogs?
Yes, I think that would be mentioned. But look, if for whatever reason...
It's a real Bulldog.
If for whatever reason Chucky was at KU's new field and he got arrested during the middle of a football game, sure.
Could you imagine, by the way, if that had happened with like a local mascot?
Oh, it would have been crazy.
Fans of the other team. If the Missouri Tiger, if Willie the Wildcat, if Baby J, if any of those got handcuffed and carried out of the building.
How would you handcuff Baby J?
Would have been so good. Would have been, and Willie the Wildcat would have been funny too, because obviously all he has is the head. He otherwise just a normal body. Oh man.
Somebody earlier, when they were talking about that over on Twitch, said that they just left. They felt bad about Chuck E. Cheese, and they just left like McGruff the crime dog back.
Here's your new mascot.
Here's your new. You can't trust Chuck E. Cheese. Let me give you a real mascot for a minute.
Is McGruff still a thing?
He takes a bite out of crime, man.
Do we know if McGruff is still a thing? There used to be signs in I don't see them anymore. There used to be signs in neighborhoods that said this is like a McGruff whatever watch neighborhood or whatever they used to call it. I don't see. Is that not a program anymore? That was a thing for a while, obviously in elementary school, at least for my age.
Now I'm bummed they didn't send McGruff to arrest Chuck E. Cheese. Mascot on mascot.
That would have been amazing. That would have been amazing. But yeah, like you know what I'm talking about. There used to be the signs in neighborhoods that would be, and I swear I don't see those anymore. Maybe I'm not looking in the right spot. I don't know.
Feels like a complete missed opportunity on a Halloween costume. All I do is get one beige trench coat and a dog mask, and I'm just McGruff for the day. That feels like a pretty good one for kids of my era.
That's the costume.
That might be McGruff for the costume.
And then have somebody. Yeah, but then you need somebody else dressed up as Chuck E. Cheese, and you're actually arresting McGruff. Or McGruff is arresting Chuck E. Cheese the whole night.
Or Chiefs Aholic.
And Chuck E. Cheese is holding a bunch of credit cards in his hand.
That's right.
Great couples costume. I'm McGruff the crime dog. My wife is Chucky. Credit card stealing.
She just got a bunch of fake credit cards in her hand.
What are they doing? McGruff's just arresting Chuck E. Cheese.
I gotta say, I don't know.
That would eventually just get old, though. I mean, after like the fourth or fifth time, it's like, all right, we can hang around each other.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about the Chiefs' backfield situation. Elijah Mitchell and Kareem Hunt, I think that's actually the quote-unquote battle. Now, we're talking about second string because Pacheco's the starter, but that would be the running back battle. I think Brashard Smith is making this team. Carson Steele's probably a practice squad guy again, and then it comes down to Kareem Hunt and Mitchell, and both of them could be late camp cuts. Both, I guess, could be a swap of a pick late in the draft kind of guys. They're not making much money this year. They're both on 1-year deals. Guaranteed money is about $850,000 for Hunt. It's a little bit more than that for Elijah Mitchell. Elijah Mitchell has injury history. But when he's been healthy, he going way back has been effective. Kareem Hunt, we all saw what he was capable of, especially early last season. He really saved them in that backfield situation. But I thought he wore down as the season went on. Andy Reid spoke yesterday about him and said, that he had finally a full offseason. You had Kareem Hunt talking about his diet in the offseason.
I'm just cutting out fried food and stuff like that. No fried chicken, no stuff like that. And, no snacks, no little Debbies or nothing like that. So, so it's just, one of those things you just got to get your body, right for the long run. When I'm 35, 36, I could do all that.
Little Debbie's your favorite snack?
Man, I love Swedish fish, man, and Twizzlers.
I mean, it's tough to give up the Twizzlers, man. Props to him for trying to make sure his body's right for the start of the season and everything. I think that, one of those two guys has a real chance of not making the team. I know we were discussing in the text lines convinced that Kareem Hunt 100% is making the team. I would give him the edge over Mitchell, but I do not think it's anywhere near a lock category for Kareem Hunt. I think it's probably a 60-40 edge towards maybe 70-30 edge Kareem Hunt over Mitchell. But I'll tell you today, based off of Nate Taylor and some others that are up there at camp, Kareem Hunt, it's one day, and they're not in pads, but he was getting carries and reps behind Mitchell today. It's one day, but just something to point out.
I think that preseason really is going to determine this. I know sometimes we talk about camp battles like they aren't real or are real. I think Joshua Simmons, just as long as he looks good the rest of camp, he's never going to give up the left tackle spot. The punter job, it's probably Ariza's, but maybe they give the other guy a shot in a preseason game. Running back, keep Pacheco on the bench. He is the sure thing. He is making the roster. He is the starter. Let the rest of those guys battle it out.
Right.
Let Elijah Mitchell and Kareem Hunt and Brashard Smith prove who's deserving of the second most snaps on this team. There's no reason to not take preseason as an effort for that. They didn't have any interest in Kareem Hunt before the season started. They got desperate. That's why they brought in Kareem Hunt. They didn't pay him so much money that he has to be on the roster this year.
Do you agree that some of the convo about Mitchell and Hunt, though, because of the type of back that each one is, what Brashard Smith does also plays a role? Because if Brashard Smith picks up pass protection well, and they feel confident in the rookie, and he's earned Mahomes and Andy's trust, and we know receiving-wise, that's a huge asset he might bring because he was a wide receiver in college at Florida, right? if he's able to do that, then doesn't that take away some of the Elijah Mitchell intrigue?
Yeah.
Like he's kind of like Smith.
He's already doing what Elijah
so
does.
If Smith is not coming along quick enough, then doesn't that bode well for Elijah Mitchell?
The only thing I would say is Kareem Hunt is the only guy who seems like the guaranteed short yardage back guy of this group.
Other than just Pacheco himself,
but he's
which
never
he
been
struggled.
all that good at.
But he would be the guy, or Carson Steele, but I think he's run out of favor personally. But based on last year's fumbling,
I understand like Pacheco himself, like to your point, but that's not. I guess here's the question: is if both guys are healthy, something that we haven't really seen with them at the same time.
True.
It could, because when Pacheco came back, he's still a limited player.
He was not
still coming
right.
off the injury. He wasn't right. That's the truth. So you still had a reason to use both. If you didn't have a reason to use both, would you still use Pacheco for that point? And so I feel like you have to very seriously consider getting rid of either Elijah Mitchell. I don't see any reason to carry 4 backs. I don't. I just don't. And Elijah Mitchell, my biggest problem with him being the third back is his history of being healthy for any length of time is essentially nil. Like, his availability is always going to be a serious question with him. So do you carry 4 for a little while, making sure everyone's healthy?
That's the thing. Do we play
every day's a healthy, Brashard Smith's always a game day healthy and active?
Do you play the roster game a little bit, though, when everybody's trying to crunch the numbers on the 53-man? Remember, Rashee Rice at some point is going to get suspended, so do you keep an extra wide receiver? The tight ends, there's a lot of them in camp. We've talked about Brenningstool, Wiley's still around. Noah Gray and Kelce are obviously the 2 locks at tight end. After that, we'll see. Some of that is going to impact this. You say, oh, can they keep 4 running backs? Not all year, but could they right out of camp because of the ability to have Rice not count on the roster at wide receiver? Or does that mean you actually have to keep more? Like, there's going to be some interesting decisions later on that maybe open the door for you to keep 4 initially. Plus, somebody's going to get hurt during camp. It just happens. And so how does that impact your positioning or positional decisions in terms of how many you're keeping?
Yeah, I know it's not an easy decision based on that, but we've talked about this before. They're not keeping 4 tight ends and 4 running backs
7 receivers.
and 7 wide receivers.
Yeah.
So, like, the cut's coming somewhere. Mm-hmm. Someone just tell me where it's coming. Running back still feels like a logical one, just considering where those guys are healthy or aren't healthy. And, I think you might have to make, I don't even think it's that. Kareem Hunt, we have overinflated what he did last year. It seemed like a huge deal because they had no one left at running back and they needed someone to play, and he did the job, technically. He averaged 3.6 yards per carry, and he was good in short yardage. His strength was short yardage. Every other part of the game, other than, I guess, pass blocking, he was pretty good.
But that's the thing. This year, they would be asking him to be a number 2 or 3 back, so that's fine.
Yeah,
right?
You're right.
That would be his role, assuming Pacheco's. I mean, we know Pacheco is the number 1 back for this team in 2025. It's more behind him, and each guy, what role are they going to have? We're going to be joined by Nate Taylor around 12:10 or so as practice is wrapped up in St. Joe. We'll get a little update. What did he see from Omar Norman-Lott again? What did he see from Elijah Mitchell? And thinking of Omar Norman-Lott, who has become kind of a story here so far at camp, getting a lot of reps as a rookie with the ones. Great sign. All the pads are not on. He spoke for a little bit a short while ago up in St. Joe.
Skip Spags does the best he can to put the D lineman in positions to win. And me learning that is just going to help me be a great player.
Who offensive line-wise has presented you feel like the most challenged so far?
Humphrey is a brick wall. No, I'm not laughing. Seriously, I say Creed.
Hey, Omar, you didn't sign with the Chiefs as a second-round pick for a while, but still were out there in practices. Just can you take us through that process and why was it important for you to still be out in practice with your guys when that was still going on?
Availability is the best ability, honestly. That's all.
When you're going up against a brick wall like Creed and guys like Trey Smith, how much has that already helped you improve your game, your techniques?
A lot. Astronomical. You're talking about these are some of the best guys in this league. So it's helped me take my level to the next step.
Omar, is there anything that you sort of pinpointed even before camp started that you said, I want to get better at this little by little throughout the training camp?
Probably just working my second move in pass rush and staying low in the run game.
How do you feel Chris Jones is helping you so far?
He's a great leader. He's hard on the rookies, and he's unforgivable with us, but that's only going to make us grow.
What's it been like for just the rookie class? I mean, usually there's a little bit of a bonding and everything. You have a roommate?
Yeah, Ashton Gelati. It's my dog. We're all cool. Me, Kozaya, and Ashton. We all study at night, get us all right together for the prior day coming up. Yeah, we're good.
Do you feel like you were ready for this?
what you faced so far in your first week of an NFL training camp?
Yeah, I do believe I was ready, but it's getting back into the groove of things. You always have that, and that's kind of what this week was for, just to get us back into the groove. We come on Sunday, we get in the pads, and we're full go.
Sometimes it takes Steve Spagnuolo a lot to put rookies with the first team. What has it meant to been out there with the first team defense so far?
Can you ask that question again?
Sometimes Steve Spagnuolo waits to play rookies with the first team. What has it meant to get those reps early with some of the top guys?
I mean, it's an honor. I just got to use them the right way. I'm working on not messing up and just playing hard.
What's it like having to prove yourself again? I mean, you come out of college as a star. And when's the last time you felt like you had to prove yourself like this?
Freshman year of college. So I'm kind of like a freshman again. That's all it is.
There's a lot of guys in the past who have said, like, this practice is a lot faster tempo and it's sped up compared to college. Do you get that sense how fast things are going, especially how many reps they're giving you this early on?
Well, yeah, because this is a job now. These guys' jobs, my job is all on the line, so it's a different tempo and intensity with it.
I know you don't have a ton of downtime, but what are you guys doing in the dorms or do for your free time the last few days?
Sleep and studying. There's no more time for nothing else. Yeah, nah.
Freshman again, you're back in the dorms. You talked about sleeping. Are the beds small? Are they comfortable? You guys are big guys. So is it comfortable in there?
I'm blessed enough to have a nice bed and it's comfortable. I went and bought a comforter. I got multiple other vets, comforters, and air purifiers just to make it feel more homey. So we're doing good.
Did they give you that tip, like the vets and stuff, or?
Yeah.
Omar, what changes when the pads finally come out, which is 2 days from now?
Probably just a level of physicality. I mean, we're kind of already moving. I play a position, me and the O-lineman and my teammates, we all play a position where we're in contact and engaged every play. So it kind of doesn't really make a difference, but it just gets more physical.
Have you ever, in one-on-ones, if it is against Creed, experienced something quite like this, going against him?
Nah. It was like, I'll tell you this, I think it was yesterday, we had a rep and he was like running an outside zone play. I was trying to move with him and I was like, damn, like mid-rep, I'm like, damn, this dude he's a brick wall. He's solid and he's a great athlete.
That was Omar Norman-Lott, Chiefs rookie defensive lineman. High praise throughout that entire 3-4 minutes about going up against Kareem Hunt. He says, yeah, it's like freshman year at college again. Got to prove myself. He has looked very good, though. Now, Sunday, as he was talking about there, the physicality goes up a notch or two with the pads coming on. But it's so far a nice sign to see one of their draft picks maybe setting himself up to have a bigger impact. I'll say this, where you got to give him some credit, is the question there was about the contract stuff. Remember, he did not sign until like right before camp, the whole thing with all the second-round picks in the league, but he still went to minicamp. He still went to OTAs.
Worked out the whole time.
And guess what? If he didn't do that, we're not talking about him this week getting reps with the ones and already maybe having an inside track to have a bigger impact his rookie season. Like that's a credit to him for showing up, and it's why you differ that and compare that, I should say, contrast it to how things have gone with some other players around the NFL. Like, credit to him, and it's paid off so far. That's why he's probably having the success he's having so far at camp.
He was just a part. The second round thing was a completely different deal than a normal holdout of the other players who were holding out for different reasons. They were all trying to do something collectively. There were like 3 of them signed for a huge chunk of it. Once one signed and broke the seal, they all came in. But yeah, good for him for practicing pretty much the entire time during that. And yeah, he's been one of the standout early players, certainly out of the rookie class so far. I bet Nate Taylor will tell us that coming up in about 15 minutes.
We'll get to what's trending, and then, Nate Taylor is going to join us here on Cody and Gold. We'll also talk a little bit more about a situation that is happening in youth sports on the East Coast, and it is absolutely ridiculous. That's next.
This is Cody and Gold on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
It's the summer sales event at Robside Ford. Your chance to upgrade without the stress. Robside joins me now. Rob, what's the offer?
0% financing, $0 down, and 0 payments for 90 days on nearly the entire Ford lineup.
That's a serious summer deal.
Sure is. And unlike your brisket last weekend, these deals aren't dry.
Okay, that's fair. These savings are definitely juicy.
And we're backing it up with 2 years of complimentary maintenance, a non-commissioned sales team, and top trade-in values.
No pressure, no gimmicks at Robside Ford. The way car buying should be.
We're Kansas City's top-rated Ford dealer. 4.8 stars, nearly 3,000 Google reviews, and a better experience from start to finish.
So skip the smoke and the dry meat. This summer, start at Robside Ford.
135th and State Line or robsightc.com. 0% financing, $0 down, 0 payments for 90 days, and 2 years of complimentary maintenance.
Robside Ford, buy right, drive happy. And next time, maybe stick to potato salad.
There is only one National Summer Arms Show, and it returns to Kansas City this weekend only. Bigger than ever. Buy, sell, and trade with freedom lovers from coast to coast and border to border. All gathering at the KCI Expo Center for one incredible weekend. Discover vintage rifles and handguns, modern arms, and collectible militaria. From Civil War artifacts to today's tactical gear, there's something for everyone. Stock up on ammo, brass, reloading gear, and military surplus. Explore blades from everyday carry to high-end collectibles. Visit the Colt collectors, the high standard collectors, and the returning Marlin firearms collectors. There's no buyer's premium, just $15 a day or $20 for a weekend pass. Kids 15 and under are free with an adult admission. The 54th Annual National Summer Arms Show, this Saturday, July 26th from 9 to 5 and Sunday 9 to 3. It's the Midwest's highest caliber event and the 5th largest arms show in America. Details online at nationalsummerarmsshow.com. That's nationalsummerarmsshow.com.
Baseball season is in full swing, and that means the summer heat is coming. The guys at Climate Control have been serving KC homeowners for over 35 years and know how to get your cooling system ready to handle our scorching hot summer weather. Stay cool and comfortable this summer. Call Climate Control today at 816-265-2830 and schedule your AC system tune-up for just $59. Don't wait. Visit ClimateControlKC.com today. Climate Control Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Need to sell your house in Kansas City but not sure where to start? Selling a home can feel overwhelming, especially if you're facing foreclosure, a divorce, an inherited property you don't want, or just need to move quickly. But you don't have to figure it out alone. Rex Buys KC is here to help. As a local home buyer, I understand the Kansas City market inside and out. My family and I live right here, so I know the neighborhoods, the trends, and the challenges homeowners face. That's why I take a consultative approach, helping you explore your options and find the best path forward. We buy houses in any condition, no need for repairs, no agent commissions, and no hidden fees. You'll receive a fair cash offer with a closing timeline that works for you. Whether that's in as little as 7 days or at your own pace, just a simple, hassle-free process designed around your needs. If you're ready to talk through your options, call me today at 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Let's find the right solution for you. Rex Buys KC. Local, fair, and focused on you.
It's summertime, and I love being outside, hanging out, doing all of those great outdoor activities. But if you have knee, hip, or shoulder pain and it's not getting any better, and you're stuck in a cycle of steroid shots, and now they're talking about surgery, slow down a minute. I may have the solution for you. Hey, it's Bob Fescoe, and my friends at QC Kinetics are the leaders in regenerative medicine, using treatments like advanced cellular therapy and platelet-rich plasma, all designed to actually help your body heal itself. And the best part about it is there's no meds, there's no surgery. It's advanced cellular therapy. These aren't Band-Aids. We're not masking the pain. It goes right to the root of the problem. And the best part is you can get a free second opinion. A licensed medical provider will go over your x-rays or MRI and see if you're a good fit for these breakthrough treatments. And it doesn't cost anything. So call QC Kinetics today, 816-412-6299, off 435 in State Line and in Gladstone. Saturday appointments available. It's QC Kinetics.
If Old Spice Deep Sea Super Hydration Body Wash were music, what would it sound like? Start with the deep sounds of Old Spice's ocean waves and kelp. Layer on the smooth, renewing moisture. You wouldn't hear any parabens or phthalates because Old Spice Deep Sea hasn't got any. But you would hear that vitamin B3 for healthier looking skin. So while your regular body wash sounds like this, Old Spice sounds like this. Sounds like it smells amazing.
Here's comedian Howie Mandel for hands-free Cozy Fit Skechers slip-ins.
Yeah, I'm holding a new Cozy Fit Skechers slip-in sneaker, and first of all, I barely know I'm holding it. It's that light. You see, Cozy Fit is a cool new sneaker where the upper is made of a soft quilted material. It's kind of like a little puffer jacket for your feet, except it looks like a super stylish sneaker.
Introducing new Cozy Fit Skechers slip-ins, the latest comfort creation from Skechers. You can find Cozy Fit Skechers slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Get one free set of Brake Best brake pads when you buy 2 brake rotors. Visit O'Reilly Auto Parts. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
If Old Spice Deep Sea Super Hydration Body Wash were music, what would it sound like? Start with the deep sounds of Old Spice's ocean waves and kelp. Layer on the smooth, renewing moisture. You wouldn't hear any parabens or phthalates because Old Spice Deep Sea hasn't got any. But you would hear that vitamin B3 for healthier looking skin. So while your regular body wash sounds like this, Old Spice sounds like this. Sounds like it smells amazing.
In a world parched for excitement, Twisted Tea's your refreshing thrill ride of flavor. The hard iced tea that's smooth, made with real brewed tea and 5% alcohol. Twisted Tea. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Travis Kelce Appreciation Day on Fescoe and Dusty is on Thursday, August 7th, right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM HD1 and HD2, Kansas City in Odyssey Sports Station. What's trending?
Number one on what's trending, the Royals are back at it tonight at Kauffman Stadium. 7:10 first pitch. Vern's on deck show is at 6 o'clock. Michael Wacha on the bump against the Guards. The Royals are 3 under 500. It's been a while since they played a divisional team. It's been a while since they played an American League team. Yeah. Boy, oh boy, a sweep to get them to 500 on Monday. That would
I'd be feeling good on Monday.
It would make the trade deadline that much more interesting, although I know we talked to Vern yesterday. I don't think what happens in the next 6 games should suddenly cause them to, let's say right now they're not buying, or however we want to phrase it. The next 6 games should not change that. I still believe whether they go 6-0 or 5-1 or 2-4, they should be willing, if there's legit multiple years of control outfielder out there, they should pull the trigger on that. Now, we'll talk more about it. There's a ton of speculation about Duran, and the Padres reportedly maybe offered a trade, and it looked like a pretty good package, including Dylan Cease, Ethan Solis, or whatever, their catching prospect, and somebody else, and they reportedly rejected that.
Quickly.
So if that's true, then the Royals would have to probably give up Lugo, Mitchell, and
maybe Frank Mazzucato,
a young
maybe
pitching prospect
or
something.
Just depends on which level they'd be interested in. Next up on What's Trending, more reports out from camp today. Looks like Omar Norman-Lott got some more time with the ones. Noah Williams got a little time with the ones as well. No major injuries to report. Pretty standard day at camp. Obviously, no fans were allowed there. We'll talk to our guy Nate Taylor about what he saw coming up here in just a couple of minutes. And of course, we'll get a chance to get him in pads on Sunday.
Yeah, and our training camp coverage is brought to you by Break Time, Missouri's homegrown convenience stores. Download their mobile app and find a location near you. Thinking of training camp, remember yesterday all the concern around Justin Fields? Adam Schefter sends out a tweet that says, Justin Fields carted off the practice field to the locker room, lower leg injury.
That was a pretty serious
Then
headline.
we learned it was a dislocated toe. Today, great news for the Jets. Justin Fields back at practice like nothing ever happened.
It's nothing.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
So
Thank goodness, but yes.
Okay,
Like,
let's
my
think about the way we
goodness.
send tweets. Carted off the field with a lower leg injury.
Makes it sound like he
Better sound
tore
like
his ACL.
Yeah, better make sure he tore something. Next up on What's Trending, Kansas coach Bill Self has been hospitalized last night. Undergoes a heart procedure after experiencing some concerning symptoms. Had multiple stents put in, according to reports yesterday. Kansas themselves sent out a release that those have taken place at Lawrence Memorial Hospital. Said he will, or is expected to, make a full recovery. He's in good spirits and expects to be released from the hospital soon.
Yes.
Self is 62 years old.
Yeah, scary stuff. Obviously, it's twice in the last 2.5, 3 years or so. He's had a health emergency, health concern, and we'll talk again about it, I'm sure. But yeah, I mean, he's never said he was going to coach till he's 75 or something anyway, and now you have some health things come up. We can get into it more, whether or not we think that there's more than a year or two left in his coaching tenure at Kansas. Lastly, on What's Trending, don't forget, coming up on Friday, August 8th, we will be out at Hollywood Casino. We will be there. The Drive will be there as well from the Sportsbook inside Hollywood Casino. We'll be registering fans to win a signed Charles Omenihu football plus a pair of Chiefs Colts tickets.
Sweet.
Be sure to follow Hollywood Casino on Facebook, Instagram, and X, and enter their giveaway on August 7th. That'll get you a chance to win $100 pin cash when we're there on the 8th every hour from
Take
10
it to the roulette
to 6. Yeah, I don't
Just
think we
put it
can.
all
I don't
on
think we can.
15.
I don't think we can win, Cody. I don't think that's
Well,
how
they
that
can put
works.
it all on 15.
They can.
You know?
They can definitely do that. That's
I'm
what's
still mad
trending.
at Drew for not putting it on 13 when we were in Vegas.
Oh.
We were talking all the Taylor Swift stuff. He was talking about it. I can't believe we didn't all put it on 13.
Yeah, we will be in Vegas as well. We got a couple shows in casinos in the month of August. I'm looking forward to that.
See all that at Circa as
That's
well.
right.
We'll tell you more about that.
We'll have to get our guy Nate Taylor out to one of these at some point in time. I don't know if Nate Taylor's been to Circa or Hollywood
been to
or
Vegas.
not, but yes, he has. Yeah, just for a few trips. Nate Taylor, our Chiefs insider from ESPN, joins us from St. Joe after a practice that ended up taking place outdoors. But how weird was that? No fans or anything.
It was kind of excruciating, guys. And no, I haven't been to Circa, so I've heard great things. Looking forward to doing that. I guess relatively soon, but. Yeah, a bit of confusion.
All right, I'm going to put him on hold there. Let's try to see. Sorry, Drew. Let's see if they can get that phone worked out. That was going to drive everybody crazy for 5 or 10 minutes, I think. So we'll try to.
We're just going to try to get
reconnected.
Just go to a different corner, Nate.
Come on. I mean,
sometimes it's just a quick movement. That's all.
Yeah, I don't know if he's in the dorms, if he's outside, if he's in the vehicle, he's walking around Mo West, or what's going on. We'll get a better connection there.
Just gotta shift
from
the
Nate
spot,
to talk
that's all.
about. But yes, that practice with no fans, man. That's just a weird feeling trying to take in practice when there's no. I'm sure the energy level wasn't the same even for the players. I would bet to a certain extent. I know they practice all the time without fans in a normal season, but for camp they're used to having fans that kind of keep you going as well. I would have thought Nate Taylor, Mr. ESPN, would have a nicer phone by now and everything.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I blame the connection via Missouri Western State, honestly. I'm outside, so that could be I thought, hey, being outside would be a little bit easier. And I get to walk a little bit. But no, today was kind of eerie, ominous in some ways. Thankfully, no one got hurt because I'm always worried about, practices that are not open to the public during training camp. There's always that grim reaper right around the corner, and you're just like, please nobody get hurt. So thankfully, today was relatively smooth, but it is weird to come up here and to not hear a single thing. In a weird way, you can hear the players more today. But please, guys, we need thousands. We need a sellout crowd for Sunday's practice that will include the first pads, the first real contact, the actual football is right around the corner signal of guys hitting pads and playing a more traditional style of football. As we get this thing really going. I feel like training camp really starts on Sunday.
Is that going to be bigger for anyone other than Joshua Simmons, who looks like he's probably already – Josh Simmons looks like he's already probably won the job and looks like a physical freak when people aren't in pads. But if it just translates to we're in pads and his knee doesn't bother them, then he's just going to have that locked down and we move forward, right?
I don't know if it'll be that easy, but think about this, guys. He's done pretty well, though. They did some one-on-ones today, and he kind of got taught some lessons by George Karlaftis. So you're like, hey, that's why we do this, young fella. That's why we do one-on-one drills before we get to the pads. Now, the question I have is not about Sunday. My question for Josh Simmons is how does he hold up Monday and especially Tuesday if Andy Reid, per his choice, wants to go 3 straight days in pads. And that has happened in recent years where Andy just says, yeah, we're going to get you real sore, real beat up, and we're going to see if you can handle sort of the mental burden, the physical burden, the fact that it's hot outside, that you hate your teammate by now. That's kind of by design. So how he does on Monday and Tuesday, if they are in pads, really will tell, I believe, the story of Josh Simmons and how far he's really come in terms of not just making this a competition now, but, hey, maybe having a nice sizable lead before we get to the preseason games, right? So again, you're not going to see Jawan Taylor for the next week or so. That's totally fine. It's actually really nice of him, as I've said before. But I think the other player you have to look for, and we did chat with him today, is Omar Norman-Lott, who is no gruff, all business, has some dry humor to him, I'm already in love because they've really pushed him into the rotation with the starters. And it's like, hey, man, if you could just challenge Kareem Humphrey, if you can just challenge, Trey Smith, two of the best interior, offensive linemen in the league, then, yeah, it shows that you're on a nice little track, too, to maybe have a more sizable impact than we could have anticipated when they drafted him. So the fact that they let Mike Pennell just, hey, Mike Pennell's done this for a decade. I don't need to see him this entire month. What I need to see is Omar Norman-Lott really demonstrate just how quick, how powerful some of the pass rushing moves he's starting to develop now, and the fact that, hey, this is the one player I think so far that Steve Spagnuolo says, okay, I want to see what we got, and you might play sooner than I'm normally playing rookie defensive tackles at this point in my career, how I run, my system.
We're talking to Nate Taylor, our Chiefs insider, of course, also over at ESPN up in St. Joe, another practice in the books. And as he said, pads on Sunday, so maybe this is not a question you have an answer to until after that. But today, backfield-wise, I saw some reports that it looked like Elijah Mitchell got reps over Kareem Hunt. How do you see that battle? That seems like the running back battle if there is one.
Yeah, I mean, I still think Kareem has the advantage. It felt like today was, hey, Kareem got a lot of work yesterday. Now it's your turn. It just so happens you are going to talk to reporters today, so we might as well see what you got. So I think there's a little bit of that. Here's what bothers me. I don't know if the Chiefs are going to use a fullback this year, and that's interesting because who we didn't really see is Carson Steele. And I don't know what that means if Elijah Mitchell, has a smooth, introduction into the Chiefs offense. When it comes to the preseason game, which is faster than you think, ladies and gentlemen, I do think they're probably going to give more snaps to Elijah Mitchell because they understand they have to manage Kareem Hunt's body, even though Kareem Hunt is more prepared to play football this year, given the fact that he's not coming off a surgery in the offseason and he's had a full training camp, a full offseason, back with the team. So I still think it's Pacheco, Hunt, then you get to Elijah Mitchell. Obviously, you drafted Mr. Smith in the 7th round, but I don't know what's going to happen with Carson Steele because he's kind of been the forgotten man this first week before we put the pads on. Maybe he reappears, but I still think that depth chart is pretty rock solid right now from a running back standpoint. And the question then becomes, and I know you guys were talking about this earlier, hey, do you keep 3? Do you keep 4 just to give yourself better protection with the injury? Obviously, Rashee Rice will be expected to be suspended after his legal situation has been mostly resolved in Dallas. So, okay, if you're keeping 4 running backs, does that involve Carson Steele, or does Carson Steele maybe you try to retain him back to the practice squad?
Looking at the rest of the roster, I am curious, since we'll talk about Patrick Mahomes here in just a second. We announced Camp Island yesterday. We did our first official elimination. Jaquarius Spivey unfortunately didn't make it. Nate, because we don't do eliminations when we're not at camp, double elimination on Monday.
Ooh.
Who do you think's at risk? Brashard Smith, Jared Wiley, Elijah Mitchell still on my team. Thornton, Brenning-Stool, and Omar Norman-Lott on Drew's. And then Gold still has Jalen Royals and Noel Williams.
Ooh, this is all very good.
It's going to be a tough double elimination on Monday, I'm going to say.
Could be a tough double elimination. Now, look, Jared Wiley's coming off an ACL. He is not expected to just blow our minds like he did last year. So I think by default, he kind of is on the bottom end of the list, but that doesn't mean he's not doing well. It's impressive that he's even out here running routes, catching the ball. Thankfully, his knee looks to be, pretty strong. Obviously, I'm falling in love with Omar Norman-Lott. I think the biggest winner so far, if you were to give this person immunity for Monday or Tuesday, that would be Tyquan Thornton. It's a wrap, guys. Healthy. He keeps playing the way he's been playing at practice. He is on the roster. He is a legitimate outside receiver. He is, and I've asked, I think they add Tyquan Thornton to the roster in December. He's not going to play. But the whole point was can you be better than Justin Watson? Or can you be a different version of Justin Watson from what we've seen over the last couple of years? Well, through the first week of camp, he's proven it. I don't need to see any more. outside of just, hey, let's see it in the pass, let's see it in the preseason game. You're a veteran receiver. Mahomes, I think, really, really likes him. So I think you give him the immunity. Norman-Lott, safe. Jalen Royal, safe. Elijah Mitchell, safe. Who was on your list again, Cody? Who's on your team?
So Brashard Smith, Jared Wiley, who we already mentioned, is at risk. And then I thought Noel Williams, just because Spags said that, it was working a little fast for him, but then he ran with the ones today. So, I had to.
It's, Spags is all giggles at this point. Nothing matters to him. It's so funny. It's so funny. And I want to make this clear. Steve Spagnuolo, one of the greatest defensive coordinators of all time, just throwing things at the wall, just having fun, just playing giggles. They ran a blitz today, and I can't really describe it for, security reasons of my own life. And
Harbaugh listens to our show, so does Sean Payton, and so does Pete Carroll.
Yeah. They ran a blitz today where I was just like, I guess we'll see that in week 13, but come on, coach, what is that? And Patrick had to throw the ball away. So, it's fun. Hey, we're throwing some people into the mix. Hey, Chris Jones, why don't you just play edge for the next hour? Just because you can, just because we might as well do it. Hey, give Jalen Moore a look at DN. So it's just this whole month for Steve Spagnuolo is that looks interesting. Hey, I might want to save that for October 15th. Let me write that down. I think for Noel Williams, it's fine. I'm not worried about him. The big guy that you would circle in the secondary is Jaden Hicks, and I imagine Jaden Hicks will try to murder someone on Sunday. And they're going to have to remind him, hey, man, that's your teammate. That's your teammate. Please don't send him to the training tent. So I'm okay with Noel Williams, but I do think I would say Jared Wiley he's not getting a ton of reps, and that's fine. And all these other guys are, not coming off an ACL injury.
If he makes a great catch, don't forget, if the Chiefs send out a social media video with your name in it, you are immune from elimination that day. Might not save him forever, Nate, but it could save him for a little bit. I do want to ask you about Felix Anudike-Uzomah, partially because the text line was accusing Drew of giving up on K-State and saying he's not welcome in Manhattan. Said, I'm also not welcome in Manhattan because of my constant criticism of Felix Anudike-Uzomah. I've heard you mention a lot of different defensive linemen. I have not heard you mention FAU. Where are they in his development, or is that not part of the conversation anymore versus rotational defensive linemen who will get his snaps, but that's it?
He's on the team, guys. He's on the roster. You can put it in pen, but I ain't got no notes, guys. I'm sorry. There's just so much through these first 4 days. His name ain't really came up, dog. I'm sorry. Hey, I will be obviously giving you great detail on Sunday and Monday because those are the first 2 days in pass. We'll see if Andy is a psychopath and gives them pass for their third day. Hey, man, I got more notes on Jerry Tillery and Ashton Gelati. And, look at Charles Omenihu. That's right. I've never seen him in this setting for training camp because he's always either been coming off of an injury. Ooh, okay. Obviously, fallen in love with Omar Norman-Lott. Who? Felix? Yeah, I give. You know what? I'll give you a note on Felix next week, but I have no notes on Felix this week.
Cody
That's not a
will be,
bad thing. That's not a bad thing. It's just,
he's just there.
I'm waiting for the text line to say Nate's not welcome in Manhattan either now.
Oh well, hey guys, I don't go to Manhattan.
Dang.
I just what?
What you're a Lawrenceburg guy.
What I gotta do?
Oh, careful,
what I gotta do to be over
careful.
Here? Hey, look. I live in Kansas. I'm doing just fine. Obviously, go Central Missouri Mules and Jennies. Obviously, that's the alma mater. Shout out to them. I can go to Warrensburg. Why would I want to go to Manhattan? I want to go to
You said it, not me. You said it, not me. That's Nate Taylor.
Hey, guys. Hey, Manhattan, it's fine. Here's the problem, guys. I didn't do this. This happened on its own, okay? I don't need to go to Manhattan because I'm trying to convince my child who has chosen to be a Kansas Jayhawk, hey, bud, when you get older, it's less than an hour away from home. And you know what's not less than an hour from home if you go to college? Manhattan, Kansas.
You're trying to keep your kid close.
Yeah, man. Any parent who's going through this, it's crazy. We're more than halfway there. He's almost 10, guys, and
you're 5 years away from a permit.
Hey man, look, they got it. They building a new stadium over there. I think Bill Self will be fine. I think the team's gonna be really good this year. Yeah, I'll take you to Allen Fieldhouse. And you know what? Look at how cool this place is. And culture, diversity, coolness. We don't need to go to Manhattan. I'm sorry.
He's trying to keep his class, man.
Nate Taylor from ESPN. We appreciate it.
Do you want to go see it? You want to go to Central Missouri? We can go to Central Missouri. Hey, you know what? This is where Mom and Dad were back in the day. And you know what? That's closer than Manhattan.
He can take class with me at UMKC, Nate. He can be real close.
Hey, you know what? You can just stay in the city. You can just do that.
Take the streetcar.
They got a lot of good programs. Hey, you could just either he's got to stay close or he's got to freaking go to the University of Minnesota. One of the two. But what we not gonna do is probably go to Manhattan. If I had any say in it.
Nate Taylor from ESPN.
I took the.
Yeah, you did.
I took the arrow for you. Drew's innocent now.
You took a flamethrower to Manhattan, is what you did. Nate Taylor's going to join us throughout camp, throughout the season. Obviously, our Chiefs insider.
I got nothing against Manhattan. Look, I just talked about one player.
I want to be very clear. As the KU grad on this show, I didn't say anything bad about Manhattan right there. That was all Drew.
Have you
Cody,
been to Manhattan?
Hey,
I didn't say anything about Manhattan.
That was all Nate
talking
Taylor.
about his FAU.
In fairness, Cody and I have not said anything bad about Manhattan. I had a great time when I went to the game against Troy a couple years. I had a great time.
No, you were asking me, have I been to Manhattan? Absolutely, I have been. And I actually enjoyed my time there. I did. Lawrence is way better, but I enjoyed my time there. Yeah. Anyway.
Good
time. He's going to let his kid consider K-State.
That's wild. Anyway, let's get to a story out east because this is absolutely ridiculous. You guys may have seen it because it's made some national headlines. This New Jersey Little Leaguer got suspended because he did a bat flip, okay? So here's the context. A 12-year-old Little Leaguer obviously is now very distraught at the idea that he's going to miss his team's first state baseball tournament. And he hit a game-winning home run, okay? He's 12 years old. He hits a game-winning home run. He flips the bat. He didn't taunt the opponent. He didn't go in their face. He flips his bat like we obviously see. And his name is Marco Rocco, which is, just
Marco Rocco.
From New Jersey. It's great.
New Jersey kid named Marco Rocco.
It's incredible. But he tossed his bat in the air on July 16th after a sixth-inning two-run homer in the final of the sectional tournament. First, he was called out because of that. But on appeal, the runs counted. He got ejected and suspended for a game over what the family was told were actions deemed unsportsmanlike in horseplay. Now his family has gone to court to seek an emergency temporary restraining order that will allow him to play in the state tournament that starts, I think, yesterday. So I don't know if we have a conclusion on this yet or not. This is crazy. I understand we want to promote sportsmanship. I totally do, and it's very important.
Why can't kids bat flip? Why can't kids rub it in other kids' faces sometimes?
Okay, well, that wasn't what I was going to say. But the sportsmanship part is important. Flipping your bat, he didn't flip it at an opponent. He didn't go in the opponent's face.
That's true.
These are 12-year-old kids. Let them do a bat flip. It's all right. This is crazy.
I guess the argument is that that's showing someone up just like anything else. Why are you banning bat flips? Like in an AAU tournament for 12-year-olds, do you ban like the 3 goggles? This, to me, is the difference between what you're saying. The sportsmanship part and being a good teammate. I'm not saying don't shake hands.
Sure.
You don't have to talk trash. That's just celebrating. This is like when the NFL briefly got rid of group celebrations for touchdowns. Why?
Oh, there's an update an hour ago.
Why?
By the way, there's an update as of an hour ago. We were going to get to this yesterday, and then we moved it to today. Update as of an hour ago, I just saw a news story. He has been cleared after being suspended initially. So they have corrected what I think was a complete mess in a wrong situation.
Someone said don't blame the umpire. It's like, I'm not trying to blame the umpire, but sometimes as an umpire, you could just let something go. Like, I understand that, like, it's technically a rule and you're like, he's enforcing the rule. if the other coach,
people are split on this in the text line, though, man. Someone said
the
flipping
other
your
coach come up to me and said something. I'd be like, come on, man.
Someone said flipping your bat's 100% taunting. It's unnecessary. The youth have absolutely gone crazy with taunting and talking trash. It's horrible. Someone else said, I would yank my daughter out of the game instantly if she does something even remotely like a bat flip. So there's some parents that are chiming in and say they don't want their kid to do the bat flip.
I don't have any issue with my kid doing a bat flip.
Even if you want, even if I'll play the game here for a second. Even if I'm going to say, you know what, I agree, right? Fine, no bat flip. Do you guys agree, though, your kid shouldn't be thrown out of the game and suspended the next week? Like, we can say, as a parent, you should go, if you want to talk to your son or daughter after, like, hey, we don't do that. You want to punish them where you don't bat flip. But why is the league suspending
sports because they did one bat flip?
That would be my only argument. Like, if you as a parent, look, if you just don't want your kid doing
I'm a parent.
by
my
all
kid,
means, do that, right? That's your own call and everything. You want them to handle it a different way. Makes sense. But why is there a rule in this New Jersey Little League? And maybe, by the way, I don't have kids. You do. Is this a rule in every Little League? I don't know.
My kids don't play Little League baseball yet. Desmond did get his first invite, I think, to go play because we spent a bunch of time
I just don't think the suspension part is nuts. Like, maybe you just don't want your kid doing it, but why are we suspending him?
I don't think a kid should sit on the field and tell another kid, wow, you stink, after he strikes him out or anything outside of that. But I don't think, Gold, I genuinely do not think they should get tossed from the game, and instead this should be a parenting thing.
This isn't an 18-year-old, 16-year-old. It's a 12-year-old kid.
Also, if they're 18, even more reason why they should be allowed to have that level of competitiveness. I understand, dude. There was a clip the other day I watched because parts of it have gotten out of hand. There was a clip the other day of some guy was playing Call of Duty, but he was letting his 8-year-old little brother be on the headset.
Okay.
And so he's playing Call of Duty, and he's a very good gamer. So the older brother is dominating. And the guy on the other side of this is being the stuff he's saying to what is an 8.
Oh, it gets nasty.
He doesn't know.
It gets nasty.
He doesn't know that the other guy there, far as he knows, he's just talking a bunch of crazy trash to an 8-year-old. And you're like, dude, be cool. We don't have to take it that far, but it does feel like more of a parenting thing.
Fortunately, the suspension was taken away, and just warn the kid next time if it's actually against the rules in this league. Be like, tell the coach and have the coach warn the kid. That's if we're really going to go down this path. So glad to see that he's allowed to play in his, I think it's state title or state regional or whatever it is.
What we're not going to do is probably go to Manhattan.
Jeez. Up next, thinking of baseball, another name mentioned that the Royals potentially could be interested in. We'll tell you who that is and the random question of the day right here on 96.5 The Fan.
This is Cody and Gold on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Baseball is obviously in full swing. We got bat flips happening all over the place. That means the summer heat has definitely arrived, and the guys over at Climate Control have been serving KC homeowners for over 35 years, and they know how to get your cooling system ready to handle our scorching hot summer weather. Stay cool and comfortable this summer, so call Climate Control today at 816-265-2830. That's 816-265-2830 to schedule your AC system tune-up for just $59. Don't wait. Visit ClimateControlKC.com today. Climate Control, heating, cooling, and plumbing.
Don't let clogged drains slow you down. Call Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter today for our $79 mainline drain cleaning special. The pros at Hamilton will inspect your drains with video camera technology to pinpoint exactly what is needed to clear those clogs and help prevent expensive drain repairs. The expert technicians at Hamilton are ready 7 days a week to solve your problem the right way, the first time. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 5-star reviews ensures your peace of mind. Visit callhamilton.com for details, terms, and conditions. License number 2025-11121.
Hey folks, I've got a couple of important questions for you. Do you know how much money you need to retire? Do you have a plan in place for your loved ones? If your answer is no, it's time to get your financial planning on track with UMB Private Wealth. It's never too late to start. Plus, their team supports you at every step of the planning process. Go to umb.com/privatewealth to schedule your appointment. That's umb.com/privatewealth. Why not start today.
The summer selection is on at Reiselman Nissan, and 0% financing is back. Get 0% APR for 5 full years on new Rogues, Muranos, and Pathfinders. Or go long with 1.9% for 72 months, or 84 months at just 3.49% APR. Get up to $6,000 in total rebates on the rugged Frontier. And if you're leasing, you'll pay 0 sales tax. That's real savings. Nobody in Kansas City beats our deals or our selections. Visit Reiselman.com for details. Reiselman Nissan. Every customer, every time.
Looks like it's jewelry sales season again. Yep, that time when jewelry stores come out of the woodwork with so-called once-a-year savings of 20, 30, even 50% off. Question, doesn't that mean then that their prices are normally 20, 30, even 50% higher than they should be? Hi, this is Gene at House of Diamonds. We don't play those games. Our prices every day are like other stores' so-called sale prices. We buy our diamonds direct from the cutters, choose only the best 5% in each grade, and pass the savings on to you. Nearly all the jewelry we sell is designed and crafted right here in our shop. No big-name designer markups here. And our diamond jewelry comes with a double lifetime guarantee and more free Diamond Club services than I can list. So the next time you hear about a big jewelry sale, thank them for letting you know how much extra they normally charge, and then come see us at House of Diamonds. House of Diamonds on the southeast corner of College and Quivira.
Ready for your dream Las Vegas vacation? Enter BetMGM's Your Legendary Vegas Getaway, and you'll have the chance to win a customizable Las Vegas experience. It's easy to enter. Just sign up for a BetMGM account and download the app or log in with your existing account. Then place your bets on your favorite sports to earn up to 25 entries. You could win a trip to Vegas that includes an MGM Grand Stay, travel accommodations, resort credit, and your chance at an exclusive sports, entertainment, or club experience. Score the Las Vegas trip of your dreams by entering BetMGM's Your Legendary Vegas Getaway, and you could be on your way to your perfect Vegas vacation. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. New and existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Please make sure to read our full terms and conditions before participating in this promotion. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide Free and Gentle provides an excellent Tide clean, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues like dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on your skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
Right, Takis fans? Wendy's knows you love your Takis Fuego chips, so we thought, why not make a Takis Fuego meal with a Takis Fuego chicken sandwich with spicy chicken topped with crushed Takis Fuego chips and creamy corn spread. Plus, it comes with Fuego fries inspired by Takis and a bag of Takis Fuego chips. If we had any more heat, we might start an actual... I told him this would happen. For an intense new take on Takis chips, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Includes 1 ounce Takis Fuego chips while supplies last. Takis and Fuego trademarks are used under license.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My car is making this noise. Sometimes it's like doot doot, and sometimes it's like.
Do you have a dash light on?
Oh yeah.
Then we don't have to listen for clues. With the free Fix Finder service, we can read a check engine, ABS, or maintenance light to find the likely fix and even recommend a local shop if you need one.
So you don't need to hear the.
Not with Fix Finder. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 Pro on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16 Pro. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Hand sanitizer. It's lavender.
I'm good, seriously.
Let me check this pocket. Oh, mints?
Really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins. I'm a mom. Wait 1 sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
It's our best iPhone offer ever. Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line $100 plus a month on experience beyond finance agreement $999.99 and qualifying forwarded. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Payoff via virtual prepaid card allow 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
Chiefs coverage on 96.5 The Fan is sponsored by Jersey Mike's Subs. Ready for game day? Score big with Jersey Mike's. Piled high, sliced fresh. It's a sub above for your football feast. Order yours today at jerseymikes.com or download the app. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
I had to do this, guys.
You playing K-State fight song
now? Well, now we've gone too far.
I felt so sorry for the city of Manhattan after what Nate just did after what Nate just said.
Is it sacrilegious to say that all fight songs sound exactly the same? You could tell me some Michigan.
Some are similar, not all. Some are very similar.
They all sound the same.
No, I mean, there's some are very similar. I don't know if they all sound. There's
if you
definitely
heard Rocky
some.
Top, I think you would know that it's,
Can I hear it?
Oh, yeah, sure.
I think you're overestimating my recognizing.
Well, some are very similar.
Be prepared for this song to also be in your head the rest of the day. I'm just saying.
Which one? The K-State one or Rocky Top?
No, Rocky Top. Just wait till I play it. It's going to be a
What would
minute.
be really funny for Drew is if he played a completely different school, and I was just like, oh, yeah, sure, Rocky Top. It's like, that's not. That was actually Duke's fight song. So this doesn't sound any different than the last one.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
Come. Cody thinks just because there any trombones being played and stuff is the same thing.
No, this is not going to get. This has never gotten stuck in anyone's head. You're making it sound like
it's one of the more famous. It is one of the more famous fight songs.
Party in the USA, and this is going to be stuck in my head the rest of the day.
Mac's going to be mad with you. Mac's Mr. Tennessee.
Yeah. Rocky Top. Woo! Oh, yeah.
Sounds pretty similar.
Oh, hater. Just hating today.
That's because Cody,
they sound
they're
kind
similar.
of the same.
Some are similar. Those two do not sound like there's other ones that those two are not nearly the same.
I think you need to immerse yourself in more college football. I think
here's what it is.
You have to.
I think this to me, honestly, I think I know what this is. This is Cody. You went to UMKC. You didn't have a football program.
No,
you didn't go to a ton of school athletic events.
A lot of basketball
but you called the games. You weren't there as a student. I think if you were as a student going to athletic events, I think at a bigger school. I don't mean any offense by that, but at a bigger school, I think you would have understood the fight song thing a little bit more.
So I went and I searched on YouTube UMKC fight song. All I am getting are UCLA fight songs. There's not even a UMKC.
Rocky Top is one of the if you were to do top 5 fight songs in sports, Rocky Top would be in the top 5.
Give me. Harold Kuntz just said never play Rocky Top again. He went to Vanderbilt.
Well, yeah, he's a Vandy guy.
Play me Vanderbilt's fight song. I want to see if it sounds any different.
Sorry,
than
Harold.
the two we've listened to this point.
Oh no.
And we'll help Harold out. Give me Vanderbilt's fight song.
I think Harold should call in and also sing along with it. Just give me a second.
This is about to be Vandy?
This is going to be Vanderbilt.
When it comes up. Hang on. I got to wait for an ad.
Very similar.
Vandy at least is in Nashville, so I'll give him that.
You'd think they'd have good music then. You'd think that they'd have the song. You think they'd have the song stuff on point.
Yeah.
You'd think they'd have it down. This is exactly the same. These are exactly the same.
This I can...
This sounds like they all sound the same.
I think Rocky Top's is
a classic.
That one was more different than this one and the first one.
Rocky Top's a classic. This is just a normal fight song.
Some people agree with me on the text line for what it's worth. They say they do kind of sound the same. Plus, our guy Harold gets his Vanderbilt fight song.
There you go.
Coming up,
and they always go, huh, 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 or yeah, yeah, yeah. They do the same chant, all in the same thing.
It is a fight song.
It's all the same.
It is a fight song.
Careful, you're going to start sounding like the Texas A&M
Cody,
people.
what's UMKC's fight song?
Yeah. That's what I said.
One.
See, this is the point. I think this is why you're hating too. I think this is why you're hating a little
If you
bit.
also heard Michigan's, if you heard "Hail to the Victors," you would know that's Michigan's.
I
fight
didn't
song.
know that was Tennessee, so I definitely would not know Michigan's.
Yes, okay. Hey,
Drew,
Do you mind if I look it up real quick?
Go ahead. All right,
I'm not
all
doing
right,
this to
all
pick on
right.
it. Had you played Tennessee's fight song and said, whose fight song is this? I 100% would not have gotten that right. There's just no chance I would have gotten that right.
You don't like the pageantry of college sports.
Well, they're ruining that too. They've decided to get rid of that part. They decided to throw that to the wayside. They don't even care anymore. So why should I? Oh, this one does sound. Wait, I thought this was Notre Dame's.
No. This is also a top five iconic. This is a top five. This is a top fiver.
I'm not kidding. Had you played this, I'd have been like, oh, this is the Notre Dame one, right?
They're rivals with Michigan. That doesn't go over
This
well.
is a top five.
I hope my
fight
dad's
song.
not listening to because he'd be like, "What, Cody? No way!"
I thought dead serious.
Vern's going to be very upset with you with this
Vern will
too.
be like, "Excuse me."
I've heard this one, but I thought it was the Notre Dame one. Does the Notre Dame one sound like that one, or does it sound different? Don't play that one, bud.
So I'll be honest, I don't know what Notre Dame's fight song sounds like. So
Someone
it's probably
says
like Vandy's
Michigan,
more.
Mizzou, KU, Texas, all the same. Are there some that overlap and sound the same? 100%.
Yeah, Gold agreed there.
But the one that we just heard is way different than the other ones. But yeah, there are some that are very similar. I think Florida's is pretty decent too. But anyway,
Someone just said, "Why'd you guys just play the same four songs in a row?"
How about you?
Coming up in 20 minutes.
Yeah, we're gonna have a new benchmark. It's gonna be Cody needs to guess this fight song. Yeah, that's what
20 minutes away from Fan Club Friday. Fan Club Friday is presented by Circus Sports. We, of course, will be out in Las Vegas coming up a little bit later on in August out there for their big contest weekend. We'll tell you more about it during Fan Club Friday. Also, if you're looking for something to do tomorrow, I will be out at Omaha Steaks for their grand opening at the Fountains over there at Overland Park. That's off 119th, just east of Metcalf, between Glenwood and Lamar. Omaha Steaks grand opening. You're right there near the PGA Superstore. The first 500 customers will win autographed Chiefs gear or tasty Omaha Steaks prizes worth up to $199. Plus, enjoy free samples. Get a pic with Casey Wolf, Chiefs cheerleaders. We'll have some stuff to give away. I hope to see you guys out there. I'll be at Omaha Steaks from 1 to 4. Get geared up, man. Get some stuff to put on the grill for the weekend. Hope to see you guys there.
Who doesn't like steak on the weekend? I don't know what the weather is supposed to be like, but nice. Let's just assume nice for that sake. The Royals obviously start a big series against the Guardians this weekend for the players. For us, we can have our own opinion as host or as fans or where this team is. You can have a varied opinion on that. But for a team that is trying to make it difficult on the organization in any sale capacity, even the small ones, like what we think could happen kind of no matter what in trading Seth Lugo, a team that is 2.5 games ahead of you, you're 4.5 games of a playoff spot, this is an American League team. This matters. Yet another team, yet another player has come up in the possible trade talks if the Royals are buyers. Now, he does fit your requirement and our requirement, which is if you buy, I would like the ability to have more than 1 year of control.
I don't want a rental.
But it's fringe. The most recent name that has come up in trade talks for the Royals as a possible fit, Lourdes Gurriel Jr., the former Toronto Blue Jay, now Arizona Diamondback. They're selling their whole ass
5
team.
or 6 players might be traded. They already traded, Naylor last night to the Mariners.
Yeah, and Eugenio's going any second, I think, to a multitude of teams who could end up landing him. And Gurriel Jr. is apparently another guy on the block. He's hitting .245 this year with a .295 on base percentage and a .701 slug. Not good, much better than they're getting out of the outfield position themselves, though. 12 home runs, 48 RBI, and 25 walks. He's been better than that in his career. He's 31 years old. And while he does have control, it is technically his control.
Player option next year.
It is a player option next year and a team option the year after that. Neither of which is a huge contract number. And I don't think it will cost. Here's the other part. I think he will pick up the player option because I don't think he's going to get more money on the free agency. So I do think you have the control. And he's not a terribly expensive player, but is this the guy you want to help your outfield?
A few things. One, I would almost need some assurance that he would pick up the player
like
option.
He's going to tell you he's picking it up?
I would almost need, I don't know, exactly how that works.
It's a $13 million player option. You just ask him.
Yeah,
I mean, you can be honest.
I would want some assurance in what he's thinking about that. The other part of it is, while the numbers don't stand out and it's not as exciting as going and getting Duran from Boston for multiple years of control and all that, who's the better player at this point in time in their career, but the cost to acquire should be far less. Like, what's it going to take to get him? Because we know for Duran, it's going to take Lugo, Blake Mitchell, and more. For Uriel, what are we talking? Are we talking Lorenzen with somebody else? We talking two prospects that are like your 9th and your 15th?
They don't want Lorenzen.
No, I'm just throwing out names, but
my guess is that it would take like a Maybe you give up Steven Zobak and, like you mentioned, number 30, Hunter Owen. I don't care. Just choose another name down the list. Chandler Champlain is currently the 30th ranked prospect and in AAA. Probably something like that, yeah. It's not going to be any of the names. It's not going to be Caderna or Jensen or Mitchell or any of the guys they just drafted. It'll be the people further down.
Let's put it this way. Duran is kind of my dream trade. I could see them just ending up with this. That's kind of how I think it could play out.
I'm definitely in the Duran is my dream acquired player for the Royals. Tons of years of control, cheap-ish, considering Major League Baseball, has put up massive numbers in at least 1 year in the major leagues.
The argument for Gurriel would be, all right, I'm not having, if I'm convinced, I wouldn't do this, but if you're the Royals and you're saying, all right, we're only trading Lugo for Duran. Nobody else, we don't like it, and nobody else is available, yada, yada. So we're keeping Seth Lugo, which I think would be a mistake. But let's say they say we're keeping Lugo, but we still want to find a bat for this year and next year. This would be the trade because it wouldn't require a Lugo involvement.
And it wouldn't require any of your big-time prospects, so you could still hold on to them in case you need to make a move. The other thing is, you do need cost control somewhere, Gold, if you're going to solve some of your problems in the offseason. If you're going to acquire another pitcher because you let Seth Lugo go. If you're going to acquire a corner outfield bat because you're still truly short in that category unless Jack Caglione starts really mashing during the set. And even then, you only have one of the two corner outfield positions shored up. But the thing is, next year, catcher, third, short, first, and second are technically under contract, right? I mean, you're good. You got Vinny, India, Bobby, and Michael ready to roll back in next year, and you got cost control on a couple of those guys. Vinny and Michael cost you nothing. Salvador Perez is like a $13 million player option or team option. So that, by all consideration, is not terribly expensive, so you're okay there. You're going to need more than one outfielder next year, and if you could get Gurriel for the cost control portion of it, for a player that's probably not going to break through, especially a pitcher where I think their depth is right now in the upper levels, if they'll just take, honestly, Gold, if they take a Chandler Champlain type, like a guy who's in AAA who might make some big league starts for you but might not, I'd be pretty quick on that. Or Zobak, I'd be pretty quick on a move like that at the right price. But this would feel like selling yourself short. What I really want to do is what you said. I want to go get a Duran. I want to go get
those trades are in different stratospheres.
I'm not trying to get Hunter Renfroe Jr.
Yeah, those trades though are just in different stratospheres. I mean, in terms of the what you have to give up and the type of player you're getting back. Those are not on the same level of trade. I mean, there's an argument to be made. You could make both, Cody, and have your outfield figured out for the next couple years. That there's an argument that you why wouldn't you do both those trades? Honestly,
I mean, again, their infield is set. Michael has multiple years of control. Vinny they both have 4 years left with this team of control. Bobby Witt Jr. is under contract till 2030 for this team. And Jonathan Indy's got at least one more year. And Salvi, his replacement's already in the minor league system in either Carter Jensen or Blake Mitchell. So you're not worried about anything that's happening in the infield, I think, for at least 3 years. And that's if you gave nobody an extension and didn't even bother with it, right? You're probably okay there. So the question is, can you upgrade in center? Can you upgrade in left? And then the hope is still, you're not looking for an upgrade in right. You just assume, and I think as an organization you have to do this, that Jack Caglianone's going to hit. We'll just give that one time. He's going to hit. We'll give him time on that one, and we won't worry too much.
Random question.
For you, Gold. For you, Drew. Text line 913-586-7965. Of course, the random question today is brought to you by KC Urology Care at KCUC. Remember, you see the best in KC. Visit kcurology.com today. So there's something else we're going to get to. I almost made it the random question, but we'll get to it during a fan club, which we weren't planning on having fan club today because we don't normally have it at camp.
We are in studio.
But we are in studio, so we'll crack open some of the leftover forehand stuff that Jeremy Danner brought last week and have a little fan club and talk through some of this other stuff. Very simple city-related question. It was announced yesterday that the streetcar extension to UMKC will be open starting in late October. So you can take it
October 24th, I think.
Yeah, so you can start it. You can take it from the city market all the way to UMKC, including some details like it's going to go faster on the UMKC stretch. They're going to take it up to 30 miles an hour, and the spots will be spread out a little bit more. But you'll be able to take it city market to UMKC. The question I have for you,
I love how you're phrasing it as if people are taking it to UMKC, as if that's the attraction.
No, that's just what it stops.
They're taking it from the plaza to downtown is what they're doing. The idea that everybody's flocking to UMKC because of the street line.
That's just where it ends.
No, it's basically you can go from the plaza to the river
plaza
market.
Will be the more popular spot. I'm just saying,
I'm
like,
just giving you a hard time.
that's where they take it to.
Yeah.
It actually should. I guess it could be good for the university.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd have to ask them. I don't know.
That's great. You can
But the
go to
idea-
KC Current games too.
Yeah, the public transit getting you from like KC Current or from if you're a UMKC student to the KC Current.
You play
or
the
that
fight
area.
song on the whole
All
entire
that stuff.
stretch.
Yeah, whatever it is. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I teach there. I should really.
You
figure
really
this out.
should figure that one out, man.
I'll make this my
Play that your first day in class for all the students.
the UMKC fight song.
Yeah.
I teach 2 classes a semester too.
Uh-huh.
I'm in trouble. I got to teach 2 different classes.
All right, sorry. What's the
question I have for you today is, what is in the next couple of years the likelihood you utilize the streetcar now that it is extended? I wanted to make this a city question. I'm going to be on it more, I think, because it does take me to more places I can park and ride from City Market in about a 10-minute drive. And if I want to go out, let's say I want to go out to the Plaza Gold, have a couple of cocktails. Well, I don't want to have to I don't want to like figure out the ride. Sometimes it's certainly cheaper than an Uber, even if I'm a park and ride. The fact that now it's extended, I wish it'd go further and further. So I am more likely now to use it. I'm curious if you guys are.
Yeah, so for me, the time that I would use it would probably be if I said, hey, I don't want to deal with parking at a KC Current game.
But you could park
so
near UMKC.
I'll park at the UMKC, the Plaza, whatever, and I will take the streetcar the entire way. Admittedly, I would love to do it one time to see like how long does it truly take though? Because while it sounds great not having to pay for parking, how long is it going to take me on the streetcar line though after a Current game to get all the way back to the Plaza? I don't know the answer to that yet. It's something I want to try. That would be the time I think I would utilize it. Other than that, I don't know how much I'll do it. What I like it for the city. I like it for the fact it's going to be ready by the World Cup when people come to our city. I like it for people that visit to have that opportunity for transportation. We know the city lacks public transportation and needs it badly, and streetcar is one step in that direction of improving it. And so it's cool to finally, for those of you that travel on Main Street, I'm sure you're thrilled that that's about to finally be done. The construction that's been going on for, 4 years or whatever it's been.
It does take a long time.
I just don't think together. Other than like it's in my daily routine, there's no need for it. But that just depends on where you live in town.
Somebody says it's more of a novelty. They don't think that for a majority of folks, it doesn't work unless there's a larger rail system. Look, no argument on the sense that if you want good public transit in the city, you need a larger rail system. That's certainly not the argument.
Yeah, give me that rail from Overland Park to KC High, and I'm in, baby. Let's go.
That would only cost,
that only costs about $3 trillion to figure that out.
Yeah. It's getting dangerously close to connecting me from my current neighborhood to the neighborhood I used to live in. Like I spent a lot of time in Waldo and still like some of the businesses in that area. I'm not that much further once you start getting to the Plaza from there. And if it's coming all the way to KC Current Stadium, I can get there in 10, 12 minutes, probably Gold. From my place. So like I like the ability to like make it a destination and go without it. Right now, it feels more like a novelty before I can get all the way to South Plaza and UMKC before than it does now. It feels like I can actually get somewhere. Before it felt like I could go like a stretch, right? I could get from Crossroads to like Union Station. It didn't feel like I could get it, like I know I could take it further up Main. It just didn't feel like you could get very far.
Yeah, I don't know how often I'll use it. I'll try it one time for a Current game and see if it makes sense versus just parking. But that's mainly because of where I live in town and everything. But yeah, it's some people will find it more useful. That's what I said. I'll try it for a KC Current to see if it makes sense time-wise. My only concern with it, by the time I drive to the Plaza and I park and I get on it and I wait for the line or whatever after the game, how much longer is it going to take me to go that method versus parking? Now, there's a financial difference, of course, too, but like you got to balance it out, time versus money, right? But I don't know. Like if you're telling me it's going to take me an extra hour to get home by taking the streetcar versus just getting in my car, then I'm not going to do that.
I think the final stop's right by a pizza place. You can get some food. And then head the rest of the way home. It's by Pizza 51. It's good pizza.
There's some sort of utopian society where Gold can just walk out of his front door, hop on a streetcar, and just go to wherever he wants to go, and it works.
I like when I go to other cities and there's reliable public transit. I very much enjoy it. Like when I go to San Francisco, the others, and you can just take the cable car to like
the dream
8
is
different parts of the city. It's amazing.
Yeah, the dream one day is, even if you live out south, that you can just take a rail to the airport. It'd be amazing. It's never going to happen in my lifetime, I don't think. But the financial cost doesn't make sense for them to do it, I don't think. So
follow up. So the rail goes all the way out to Johnson County. It goes to 119th, right? Major part of it. And would you be likely to take it? Let's say you're like, oh, hey, let's get some dinner tonight. More likely to get dinner on the Plaza if it's a place you can take the rail all the way to?
Jump on the streetcar,
Yeah, I think so. I think so. But I just
plus it's like
I
an
think
experience.
The cost to pull something like that is just not. I don't think is like worth it. The financial cost. Think about this quote unquote small extension that they added from UMKC, the plaza, and everything.
It goes to UMKC. You can try to deny it all you want.
It does go to UMKC.
That's
but
where it stops.
Most people are not saying, man, I can take it to UMKC now. They're thinking I can take it to the plaza now. But whatever. All jokes aside with that.
Enough disrespect.
Think about the cost this extension was. So acting like an extension out in southern Johnson County to downtown, the cost of that would be just absolutely outrageous.
And you need multiple municipalities and multiple states.
It's not happening.
There's just a lot of other things that go in there,
Someone says I'd rather than worry about picking up my recycling that hasn't been picked up in 2 months than the streetcar. That's from the 816.
Man, you haven't gotten your recycling picked up in 2 months?
I'm assuming you've called, right? Checked in on that thing?
I hope so, man.
Yeah. Someone says, Gold, it's going to take you more than an hour to park at the plaza, get on a streetcar, and get to the current game. Yeah, see, if that's the case, then I don't think it's going to be worth it for me.
It depends on the convenience of I want to have a couple of beers, and that just gives me I don't mind the slower transportation sometime if it's a part of my entertainment.
But if the game gets over at 9:30,
it takes me 10 years to leave Arrowhead, but I can't leave the KC Current in 2 hours.
But if the game ends at 9:30 and I have no idea if this is how long it takes, but let's just say it took me till 11 to get to the plaza on the streetcar, then it's not worth it. That's a terrible idea. I don't know if that's how long it's going to take. I hope not. I can't wait to try it out for a game next year, or maybe by the end of this year.
I get it. It feels sporting event specific, but it's like when I leave Arrowhead, I don't leave Arrowhead Stadium until 11 o'clock. And so if it takes me a little bit longer after a sporting event to get home, I think maybe it's still worth the length of time versus, having to.
But I'm saying an hour and a half. I'm saying just to get to my car at the plaza, does it take me an hour? At least you're right. At Arrowhead, it might take me an hour to get out of the parking lot. But I'm already I'm in my car. I'm already on my way home.
Yeah.
This is where we need bullet trains. You get from spot A to B in 5 minutes. That's it.
I don't think we're getting those anytime
soon. I don't think so.
Someone says, remember that funny idea someone wanted to do the gondolas or whatever, gondolas or whatever, that whole thing?
Could you imagine that would make you nervous as hell.
Heights? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you would be nervous with that.
Maybe the closed ones.
Yeah.
Wouldn't feel so bad.
So you can take it from the current game to UMKC, enjoy the fight song. Yeah, that's what we were saying. Anyway, up next, we will get
Let's take the streetcar to a Roos game this year. We'll all meet up. You'll have to go past.
That'll make no sense.
Are we actually going to go to a game this year?
For me, it make no sense.
No, you're driving past it, so we can ride it.
I'm going to hold on. Let me get this straight. I'm going to drive to the River Market to only get on the streetcar to then go down to UMKC.
Correct.
I'll pass on that. I will pass on that. I'll meet you there, though. All right. Up next, we will get to a fan club Friday here on the show. We'll talk more about what we saw at camp and one stat that tells us the story of the last 7 years in the NFL.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Cole Reagans, and you're listening to Cody and Gold. Weekdays starting at 10 on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Men, the summer is here. Longer days, warmer nights, and romance in the air. Intimate dinners, walks on the beach, dancing in the moonlight. But if you have erectile dysfunction, you know it can ruin romance, both for you and the one you love. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. And if you have ED, don't let another summer go by without getting treated. Because intimacy is one of the greatest things in life, and fear of not being able to perform should not be something you have to deal with. At Heartland Men's Health, we're ED experts. We've successfully treated tens of thousands of men. Our protocols work when others don't, and we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. You could even last up to an hour or more and perform like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial appointment is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600. Or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
GiveMeTheVin.com. Big cash giveaway. I hate games and scams. So when we had the idea to give away $25,000, I was very careful about the way it was orchestrated. Get the top of the market money and enter to be the lucky person to get $25,000. This is no joke. This is no game. This is very real. Just like GiveMeTheVin.com.
No purchase necessary. For official rules, go to GiveMeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
If you love finding the deal and a bargain brings you bliss, the Hy-Vee 5-Day Sidewalk Sale is cause for celebration. This Wednesday through Sunday, stock up and save big on dozens of pantry staples, like Roma pizzas, 4 for $10. Pepsi 24 packs, $9.99. Frito-Lay's chips, just $1.99. Gatorade 8-pack bottles, just $5.99. And Sunbelt granola bars, 4 for $10. Hurry to the huge 5-day sidewalk sale this week, only at Hy-Vee.
Even though it's summertime, everybody's still busy, and that's where Hy-Vee Market Grill comes in. They've got the best dining value in town. Every day, they've got a meal deal from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. And for $8 per person or less, you can treat the whole family to dinner, like smoked chicken Monday, pork chop Tuesday, cheeseburger and fries on Wednesday, and chicken enchiladas on Friday. And don't forget steak Thursday with a perfectly seasoned steak, garlic mashed potatoes, and sweet corn for $12. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner, it's only at Hy-Vee Market Grill.
Lowe's knows big savings make a big difference, especially when you're shopping for appliances. Hurry in to get up to 30% off select major appliances. Plus, My Lowe's Rewards members get free delivery, free haul away, free installation and parts on purchases of $2,500 or more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 7/30. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Price, delivery time, and vehicle availability may vary based on order size and location. Exclusions apply. See Lowes.com/delivery for more details.
Now is the perfect time to start on your next success. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start August 13th. An accredited state university, University of Maryland Global Campus offers online and hybrid courses. Plus, you can earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits towards a master's. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chevy.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights, at home or at work. We'll make your happy place your own. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Divorce is never easy, but selling a home during this challenging time doesn't have to add to the stress. When you work with the Sharp Homes team, they'll help you make a seamless transition. And the Sharp Homes team can give you options. Do you want to skip the showings and open houses and go straight to sold? Contact them to discuss their instant offer program. In fact, contact the only agent I would trust if I needed to sell my home. It's Dawn Sharp with the Sharp Homes team, brokered by Epic Realty. Just Google Sharp Homes team. It's Dawn Sharp and the Sharp Homes team.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius, or two half geniuses, and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Right, Takis fans? Wendy's knows you love your Takis Fuego chips. So we thought, why not make a Takis Fuego meal with a Takis Fuego chicken sandwich with spicy chicken topped with crushed Takis Fuego chips and creamy corn spread. Plus, it comes with Fuego fries inspired by Takis and a bag of Takis Fuego chips. If we had any more heat, we might start an actual... I told him this would happen. For an intense new take on Takis chips, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Includes 1 ounce Takis Fuego chips while supplies last. Takis and Fuego trademarks are used under license.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My car is making this noise. Sometimes it's like doot, and sometimes it's like
Do you have a dash light on?
Oh yeah.
Then we don't have to listen for clues. With the free Fix Finder service, we can read a check engine, ABS, or maintenance light to find the likely fix and even recommend a local shop if you need one.
So you don't need to hear the
Not with Fix Finder. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Cody and Gold. live from St. Joe at Chiefs training camp all summer long with exclusive access and interviews with the reigning AFC champions. Right here on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Fan Club Friday here on Cody and Gold. We are back in studio. We're back in training camp on Monday in St. Joe. But Fan Club is presented by Circa Resort Casino out in Las Vegas. We'll be in Vegas coming up in August.
We will.
We'll fly out on the 20th. The contest weekend begins 21st through the 23rd. Circa Millions and Circa Survivor are back with a massive $21 million in guaranteed prizes. Circa Million, you're going to pick 5 games against the spread every week. There's actually 126 different ways to win. $6 million guaranteed. Then Survivor, you're probably very familiar with that. 1 pick a week, no point spread. Just survive till the end, right? $15 million guaranteed. Enter in Nevada. Play from anywhere. $21 million guaranteed. Visit circasports.com for details. If you're already going to sign up for the contest, if you're already betting this year, you should do the contest. And the best time to sign up is the weekend we're there. Seriously.
Make your 5 picks.
Because you sign up the same weekend we're there. You get to go to the open bar at Stadium Swim, for starters. You're going to be part of some of the other events that they got planned. And it's Vegas. Who doesn't like Vegas? You don't even have to leave the property. Stay there the whole time. We will. I'm not leaving the hotel the entire time.
Adults only.
That's another nice thing. It is
adults only resort.
It is.
So if you go to Circa, no kids.
No kids running around.
Just us, adults.
What's wrong about kids?
You don't want that always sometimes. You don't want that at the resort, you
when
know?
you're on vacation and you're in Las Vegas, Drew, I'm around my kids all the time. They're a delight. Sometimes you need a break from your children, man.
I totally understand. I'm gonna be out all next week.
They've been locked in on the Nintendo Switch too.
Yeah, that's true. The Switch. So you're leaving tomorrow, right?
I'm leaving technically today.
You're driving to Indy tonight.
I'm driving to Indy tonight, yes, and then I am driving tomorrow. The rest of the way, I'm taking a different route tomorrow, though. I'm stopping at some college campuses.
So you're going to Outer Banks, but you're taking the long route so you can stop at a couple of schools.
So tomorrow
for their fight songs.
So to give you the rundown tomorrow is I'm going to driving south, stopping in Louisville, stopping in Lexington, of course Louisville, Kentucky, then going down to Huntington, West Virginia, Marshall University, going across.
How many schools are you going?
Going across into Virginia. There's a spot in Virginia.
Dude, your trip's going to take an extra 5 hours.
You're going to go to Old Dominion? You're going to go to Vinny's spot?
I could go to Old Dominion. That's like in Norfolk. I go through Norfolk to get there.
Yeah, that's Vinny's.
I definitely could stop by there.
Support Vinny Pasquantino.
You know what? How about this? You know what? I wasn't planning on going to Old Dominion.
And Mayor Q. Or not Mayor Q.
But you know, I will.
Manager. Get it mixed up.
I will
Different
go.
Q.
I will go to Old Dominion and I will tag. I'm going to take a picture and just say, "Yo, Vinny, where am I?" And I'm going to tag Vinny.
Okay, we'll see it.
And we'll see if Vinny can get the proper.
So Outer Banks, this is the family trip, right?
Yep,
and it's the
trip on my
family
mom's
trip
side.
where you guys got upset last year because you guys apparently have your own spot on the public beach.
Upset is
somebody else, a public beach, by the way.
Upset is a strong word, but yes.
I can't wait to find out they robbed his spot again.
Oh, it's totally going to happen.
Is strong, but yes, this is the place. So I will have an update for you. As a matter of fact, I might even text you guys at some point if the spot gets stolen.
Okay.
Do you guys get tired of just sitting on the beach every day over and over again?
No.
That's great.
I'm kind of with your boy Joe Burrow about boats. Did you see his comment on that?
Yeah,
I did.
That's kind of how the beach is.
But
I got to commit to being here for 8 hours on the beach?
Dude, the beach is great.
Okay,
you have a nice cold drink in hand. You just relax. And just
relaxing.
Soak in the ocean, the sounds, the smells. Just relax.
The beautiful part about this, shout out to my grandparents, no longer with us, but on my mom's side, my grandparents have a timeshare that they passed down. The timeshare is on the beach. So theoretically, if you didn't want to go and be on the beach, Cody, you could just hang out in the place, and it's right there. It's like a 2-minute walk out to the beach. So that
you don't like the beach, really?
I don't mind the beach, but there's
I could sit out and just chill at the beach for
it's similar
all
to way,
day.
It's similar to the way, if anybody saw, there was a viral social media clip from the show Quarterback in which Joe Burrow's talking about boating.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like, it's fine, and I like it. And then he's like, but you got to commit to a whole day of it. I just want to be out there for an hour and then come back. I don't want to do it the whole day. So with the beach, I'm cool to sit on the beach. It's fine to be there. I want to do it like an hour, and then I want to be doing stuff.
But you can do stuff around the water. You can get on a jet ski. You can go parasailing. You can, you
can
play
go games. We're bringing a volleyball.
You can do, and if you get sick of it, as he said, they have like the Airbnb or the house or timeshare.
the
you just go
spot's
back
right
inside for a little bit if you want to go do something else.
Yeah, it's just a little.
His boat comparison, I get it. You're literally in the middle of a lake or ocean or river. Like, you're stuck. You're on the boat. Everybody's on the boat. You're not leaving. That's a little bit different.
I feel like when people go to the beach, they just commit to this, like, we're all day at the beach. I want more
Oh,
flexibility.
I mean, you go 6 hours at the beach, and then you have all evening to go do other stuff. Anyway, I hope the trip goes well.
Thank
I'm
you.
jealous. Outer Banks, it looks beautiful every year and everything. So you're gone all next week.
All next week. I'll be back on the Monday. I'll see you guys in August again, I guess, in this case.
That's true. That is very true. I just saw a story come across the timeline during the break. The NFL is fining over 100 players and 24 clubs and their employees for violating league policy by selling Super Bowl tickets last year for above face value. Players who resold their tickets will have to pay a fine of 1.5 times the face value they paid and won't be permitted to buy tickets for the next 2 Super Bowls unless they are playing in the game. Club employees who violated the policy will be fined 2 times the face value. This according to the Associated Press. So obviously, if you're in the game, you get access to tickets, but there are also other players that can have access to tickets and club employees, and people are scalping them. And the NFL doesn't like that, and so they're fining them. I'm guessing their contracts or league policy and stuff they sign allows them to do this because they're not probably supposed to do it, and they got caught. 100 players, 24 club employees.
So they're trying
scalping
to turn a
Super Bowl
profit on it?
59 tickets. Yeah.
For shame. I mean, honestly, the secondary market's already crazy enough, so if I got to buy him in the secondary market, I don't know why I got to buy him from some random NFL player or front office exec trying to charge me a higher premium. If you're getting them for somebody who
these
wants
guys
to go,
might have sold it to another out. Like, some of these players may have listed on StubHub. I have no idea. You know,
I think players should be allowed to do this as long as you provide an autographed football to the person who buys it. I think there should be some sort of
I should be allowed to turn a profit. Well, then I can just sell the football. Why am I buying a ticket to sell them a ticket and then also selling them an autographed football?
Because I think, like, if I was buying a ticket though from somebody, I'd like to know if it happens to be from an NFL player. I'd love to know.
But that's the thing. You don't know. My guess is they listed on a ticket marketplace, and they found out that the league knew
How
the
else would they
tickets
find
were.
out if I just sold them to my
like,
neighbor?
This wasn't like pick a random NFL player, has a pair of tickets, and then just goes down the street and sells them to his neighbor Brian. You know, he probably didn't get in trouble or caught if that's what he was doing.
Yeah,
but he's listing it on. I'll just keep using StubHub, whatever.
Yeah,
Market, TickPick or whatever. SeatGeek.
Whatever your secondary ticket
TickPick. It's a great app. It is. It's a great ticket app.
I know it is.
No, the fees are like it's all the price of the price. Anyway,
it is kind of funny because it's all nothing in the long run. I like that the punishment is on like, well, you can't buy Super Bowl tickets for 2 years unless you're in the game, and then buy as many as you want, man. We get it. Like, we're not going to punish you enough to say you can't buy tickets for the people around you if you're actually in the game. We'll still let you buy those tickets.
Sure.
But if you were just buying them to go, no. It's always the funniest thing. Do you remember when they did the Jason Kelce documentary on Prime? They were sitting around the conversation. She's like, we're going to spend, because they have to pay face. So it's like thousands of dollars. And at that time, they had like a 2-year-old. They're like, we're going to pay $5,000 to have her go to the game. She didn't even know what's going on. And like they were having the debate of like, do we really buy her a Super Bowl ticket? But it's, your dad's playing in it. And you can't ever be guaranteed to be another chance.
Also, in that spot, you have the money to do it.
Yeah, that's the other part.
Like
I can't afford to go to a Super Bowl. I've been to 3.
Yeah, only because of our job.
I've only got to go because of the job.
Yeah, that's the only reason why we've gone. We've been very fortunate. We obviously understand that. No chance I'd be spending $8,000, $20,000 a ticket.
So when you guys relax at the beach, can I follow up on that? Somebody just said, it's no problem. I go to the beach.
Yeah, it's one of my.
Sit there.
I'm
what
jealous.
do you do?
I
can't wait.
So what do you do when you're sitting at the beach?
Okay,
you just relax. You listen to music. You drink. You just hang out. You just relax, soak in the sun, enjoy the ocean, man. It's a great thing.
Cody, on Sunday on Sunday afternoon, I will be out probably from 10 a.m. all the way to sparingly in between, anywhere from 9:30 to 5:30. Just hanging out.
So what will you do the entire time?
I will catch up with family, drink, go out in the water a couple of times, maybe throw the football a little bit.
Ride the waves a little bit.
And that's about it. And time just...
I need
just relax. You're not good.
Yeah,
Cody.
I'm terrible at it.
Just sit and relax. Honestly, you lay back in the lounger, you just close your eyes, and you just appreciate the sound of the ocean, and just take a deep breath and relax for a couple days at the ocean. It's amazing.
This is a completely foreign idea to me.
I think it would.
I can't believe anybody could actually do it.
I
can't believe anybody could just sit there and just relax. Just relax. Just relax. Like, it almost feels like I can't even relax at the thought of you just being like, relax. I can't understand why you can't just sit.
I think if there would be
like spike ball or something. I need a
I mean,
game.
I'm guessing you guys have some games and things
Yeah,
you can
of
do.
course,
You guys probably have
yes,
some playing cards you bring in on the trip, and you can
Cornhole,
play some
yes,
cards
everything.
while you're on the beach too. There's a lot of things
we're
you can
even
do.
gonna. Well, we're not going to do it on the beach, but we got
sure.
we have LCR, that we also play.
Okay.
But no.
Big money?
If
We like to
you-
gamble in my family. We definitely do that. We're together.
So normally what happens is the first game that we play, somebody wins, and then if the person who wins is, no offense to my family, but on the cool side of things, which they all are, but if they're like, okay, let's do double or nothing. We do a double or nothing.
So everyone
pool.
puts more money in.
Yes.
But the person who wins doesn't have to put their money in?
No,
They're just putting the entire pot back in.
They put the entire pot back in, yes.
That's crazy.
So that obviously gets a lot of fun.
What you're saying, Cody, I have one of my good friends is somewhat similar to you, where he would rather be active, like he would rather go on a trip in the mountains and snowboard and stuff than chill at a beach. Yeah,
I like to do stuff.
I think you can do both, though, is what I'm saying. Like, let's say for 2 of the days you just chill on the beach, the other days you go jet skiing, you go somewhere else in Outer Banks and you do something.
Tons of local shops and restaurants.
Someone said
it's not like
people
we're on an
watching.
island.
There is people watching, I'm sure, Drew. You're at a public beach, so I bet you that exists. No?
I'm sure there is. I haven't.
Nobody's walking by? Nobody's walking by?
Yeah, but I don't listen.
You're a married man. Okay. All right.
There are.
He said people watching, not.
Hang on. Hang on.
People do all kinds of
I
stuff.
guarantee you, my brother, at some point, I will mention to my brother, hey, Zach, did you there's going to be a conversation that gets had every now and then. Huh?
Is your brother single?
Oh,
Are
yeah.
your sibling single?
That's why he was saying. That's why.
Brother's single, sister's not. My sister, I met her boyfriend one time. He's coming on the trip for the first time, which is going to be awesome.
That's going to be interesting, too.
That'll be, I'm glad.
That's a speed boost in the relationship game. Family vacation, established family vacation.
It's very nice to when you're the new person, when you're bringing the new person, it's always the tough thing because you're like, you're preparing them. You're going to get asked a lot of questions by aunts and uncles where you're not in that boat anymore, and it's kind of nice. My sister's got to do the prepreration.
Yeah, I would go to a beach in 2 seconds. I'm hoping to maybe go in November during the Chiefs bye week. We'll see, but I can't.
November too. That's a good.
It's just never the vacation I choose. I'm never like, hey, let's plan a beach vacation.
I think it would do a lot of good for you, Cody. If you could just pop in a chair, have a drink in your hand, and just do some deep breathing and just relax, actually feel peace for 2 hours.
Incapable of doing it. Unless I'm drunk or high, I guess, are really the choices at that point.
Well, I mean, you could take a gummy and relax, Cody. Take a gummy and chill on the beach. Relax.
Yeah.
From the 785, Cody's way too ADHD to sit still for any length of time. And the 620 says Cody just needs a damn Xanax.
You could just take a gummy and you would just chill on the beach if that's what you
just
need.
melt for a little bit.
Yeah.
I wonder if when your kids get to the point where they're like 15 or 16 and they're able to also enjoy just relaxing a little bit on the beach. I think you'll be able to really
maybe
embrace that.
Unfortunately, I'm training them to essentially be like me, which is like we do stuff. We're a do stuff family. We're
yeah.
I think you can do both.
We are in it. I told you we talked about this. This goes in the not similar, but it's in the vein of you're a games family or a no games family. I think you are really one of the two typically. And I think, Drew, you guys sound like you are, if you go to the beach, there is a little more what if we create something to do while we're here?
We have a sandcastle competition normally that we do where there's one day where we just build sandcastles.
I can probably get talked into that. Yeah. I probably take way too long with it, but yeah, sure.
It's a way of, but it's a way of
but
relaxing.
That's you hike, you climb.
Yeah. It's
Can I surf? I've never surfed.
Try that. In the Atlantic Ocean, a little bit tougher to surf.
Wetsuit,
necessarily.
I guess.
The waves aren't quite the same as it is in the Pacific Coast.
Okay. Not as good, huh?
No.
Just thought I'd ask. I also don't want to drown in the ocean, so a lot of other things.
Oh, I go enough to where I can let you kind of ride the wave a little bit, but I don't. I mean,
the ocean
that's about it.
Hellscape. It's terrifying.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of horror.
For sure. No, I hear. Well, I go enough to where you can kind of feel the wave. But that's about it. I don't go that far out past that.
Hopefully, there's no sharks this time around because when I was down visiting my brother and sister, there were sharks. So normally there's not in the Outer Banks. It's a little bit
I will say,
north.
Drew, if there was anybody at this station, just the whole vibe though, to go surfing or to come back one day and be like, I got bit by a shark on a trip, it's 1,000% you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, probably.
Absolutely, for sure. Someone says, "What's the winner get in the sandcastle competition?"
Oh yeah, is there a prize, Drew?
I do think there should be a trophy. We think that the trophy for the Club Island should be a Justin Ross bronze. But
yeah, Camp Darling is definitely a Justin Ross trophy.
A lot of times it's just bragging rights, and then we all take a picture around the winner.
See, I think this is where, like, I want to be a parent that we do that kind of stuff, but I entice everyone with, like, $100. Like, all right, we're all on family vacation. All your significant other here, we're older. Sandcastle competition starts in half an hour.
Really convince
Winner
people
gets
to
$250. You're in now. Do you want to build this sandcastle or not? Yeah. That's the opposite of relaxing is what you're describing.
I do think, Cody, you would be, like, over the course of a week, there are enough things to do in the Outer Banks between restaurants and shops. Do
you watch the Outer Banks show right before you go just to get in the mood, get everything?
I've never seen that show.
I've only seen like 2 episodes.
Oh, man, you guys are missing out. Well,
so you have watched all of it?
I've watched all of it. I love that show. But it's weird. It's filmed in Charleston, South Carolina. It's not actually filmed in the Outer Banks.
I've been to Charleston. It was a great time.
Oh, it looks beautiful. I mean, Outer Banks, I would love to go. Someone on you see this text though, Drew, 913-586-7965. Someone says, Drew, they just came back from Outer Banks.
And Nags Head, which is South Outer Banks.
Nags Head, and the stinging jellyfish were thick. Be careful.
That sucks, man.
Jellyfish sting would be brutal.
Every now and then, there are some years are better than others, where like the jellyfish are more populated than other times. It's a bummer if there are a lot of them out there. Yeah.
So how long of a drive is this for you after your 20 college stops?
So what? Well, that's the unknown about it.
Drew's not going to get there until Tuesday.
Missing out on vacation time.
It's 7.5 from here to Indy, and then from Indy to the Outer Banks traditionally is about 12.5. With the stops included, it's probably going to turn into 15.5 is what my guess is.
15.5. Okay.
The plan wasn't to stop at Old Dominion, but I feel obligated now that you mentioned it, Cody. Plus Vinny, going to Old Dominion. I almost totally forgot about that.
Support
I think
Matt Quatrero and Vinny.
We'll have to go to see the Monarch Stadium then. There's also another stadium I'm going to stop at in Virginia. I'm not going to say because in case if this person's listening, I'm going to see. I'm going to quiz them.
What?
I'm going to quiz Barber to see if he recognizes.
Oh, he's going to Richmond.
I'm recognizing.
Going to Richmond.
I'm going to see if he recognizes the campus.
He'll recognize the campus of Richmond. Come on now. He'll recognize.
I would think so.
I'm going to text the group chat that we all are in and see if Barber recognizes it.
Wow, someone's upset. People that refer to that beach in North Carolina as the Outer Banks are conceited.
What? What? Come on,
It's
man.
the Outer Banks. It's the Outer Banks. That's what it's called. It's called the Outer Banks. What do you want them to call it? North Carolina Beach? It's called the Outer Banks. It's Outer Banks. Outer Banks.
Hey, you know what? I'm going to do. I'll do you a favor. I'm going to duck North Carolina. It's south of Corolla, which is a part of the Outer Banks. You got Corolla, then you have Duck, then you have Kitty Hawk, then you have Nags Head. It's all.
Did you consider flying? Because that's a long drive, man.
No, because I enjoy.
Are you splitting driving up at least, or is it just you?
It's normally just me. It's always been just me, which I love driving, so I don't mind it as much until I think as I get older, I'm gonna hate it more and more. Where the back starts to get more and more sore, and
That's a long drive. Yeah.
I also don't use cruise control.
I gotta say.
Oh, whoa.
I do not use it at
all. I was gonna say something else, but we can get to that first.
Hold on. You're driving 19 hours roughly, more than that probably. Yes. Actually, it'll be more than that. You're driving 19 hours, and you will not use cruise control. What?
I don't use cruise control.
Why?
I don't know. I've thought about it, but it's like, no, I'm good. I don't know if that's the...
What?
It's not even competitive.
You're also just killing your gas mileage. You get better gas mileage on the trip if you're on cruise control.
That's all right.
Okay. Interesting.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. You want your foot on the pedal actively for 19 hours?
I will say, on the highway, I hate drivers like you because I got it set at like 6 over, and I pass you, and then I got to slow down, and I got to speed up because I know you can't maintain the same speed.
No,
I know you're going, there's like a constant variation in your speed where I got to get behind you, ahead of you, behind you, ahead of you. We could all just be cruising along nicely.
I'm better now than I
can't maintain.
I'm better now than I was. I will say, going through West Virginia, though, talk about hills. I enjoy not being on cruise control because going up the hill sucks. It feels like it's taking forever. As soon as you hit the peak of the hill, let your foot off the gas pedal and you just coast down. You go from 50 to 75 by the time you get on the hill.
But the whole drive?
Yeah, the whole drive. I'm not
no cruise control.
Yeah. Somebody agrees. They don't use cruise control ever. I will say I'm getting to the point now, and I don't know if it's because I don't stretch enough, but I get to the point where like the hamstring gets a little bit. If I'm going for like 4.5 or 5 hours, the hamstring starts to get a little bit sore.
Anybody know what
You're
year?
an interesting guy, man. You're an interesting guy.
Anyone know what year Vinny Pasquantino graduated Old Dominion? I'm editing the Wikipedia page to include him in famous alumni.
I have no idea.
I think it's a little fitted that
hell yeah,
the guy Ben Bailey from Cash Cab's in there, but Vinny doesn't even get a mention on here.
Jeez.
So I'm actively editing the Wikipedia page to include Vinny Pasquantino's name.
I'm guessing
on famous alumni.
16 to 19.
I gotta look it up.
Or 17
it's a
to
graduation year, so I gotta look. Did he graduate or just attend? Did he come out junior year? Did anybody know?
No, I have no idea. I have no clue.
He get his degree? Vinny, did you get your degree? Are you listening? Shoot me a text.
Somebody asked if I'm renting a car. I am not renting a car. I thought about it, but
your car's newer, so it should be fine.
The car's still good enough. Plus, on the drive there, one of the best things about getting good gas mileage on the way there, I don't have to. I will fill up when I go home. I will fill up for gas before I leave. I won't have to stop and get gas until I get to Indy. I can just go.
I copied the HTML code because that's how you edit in Wikipedia, right? So for all the people that are listed, and I didn't change it to baseball player. So for right now, if you go on Wikipedia, it says Vinny Pasquantino, NASA engineer.
No, it doesn't.
NASA
engineer.
So I gotta
take a picture and tag it.
I gotta
send it to him.
I gotta fix it first.
I thought you were going to say that you deleted his page on Wikipedia, which would have been way worse.
No, he didn't. He didn't have an entry. He didn't have an entry on Old Dominion. So right now, because I edited it wrong, it says he's a NASA engineer. So let me fix that.
All right.
Sorry, Vinny.
Up next, we'll get a quick What's Trending in. We'll talk about what Jerry Jones had to say recently, and we'll preview this weekend series against the Guardians a little bit. That's coming up.
Cody and Gold, brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. Follow the station on Instagram for ticket giveaways and behind-the-scenes content from the show at The Fan 965.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
You're looking to build that dream deck. Sit outside, enjoy a beer on your porch, watch the game on your porch. Let All-Weather Decks handle that. The right deck at the right price. They serve all of the Kansas City metro area, and they can handle wood decks, composite decks, fire pits, pergolas, whatever your dream outdoor space is. All-Weather Decks can handle it for you. You can see pictures of the projects they've worked on their website. You can see an entire map of how much work they've done throughout the Kansas City area, the locally owned and operated, and will do your job right. Schedule your free estimate today by going to allweatherdecks.net or give them a call, 913-206-1974.
Would you be impressed by a factory copy of the Mona Lisa? Of course not. So then why are we supposed to be impressed with so-called designer jewelry? This is Gene at House of Diamonds. Big-name designers create one original piece, then manufacture thousands of copies, pricing them like they were all originals. That's not how we do things at House of Diamonds. Each piece of jewelry we create is an original, designed and crafted by hand, just for you. No copies, no mass production in an overseas factory, just one of a kind, like the love of your life. And our clients know they'll never see their design on anyone else. They also know that unlike big-name designers, we'll never use lab diamonds to pad our profits. Why pay for factory-made designer copies when you can own a handcrafted, one-of-a-kind original for the same price with real diamonds and gemstones? House of Diamonds, one-of-a-kind jewelry for your one-of-a-kind love. For over 30 years on the southeast corner of College and Quivira.
There is only one National Summer Arms Show, and it returns to Kansas City this weekend only. Bigger than ever. Buy, sell, and trade with freedom lovers from coast to coast and border to border. All gathering at the KCI Expo Center for one incredible weekend. Discover vintage rifles and handguns, modern arms, and collectible militaria. From Civil War artifacts to today's tactical gear, there's something for everyone. Stock up on ammo, brass, reloading gear, and military surplus. Plus, explore blades from everyday carry to high-end collectibles. Visit the Colt collectors, the high standard collectors, and the returning Marlin Firearms collectors. There's no buyer's premium, just $15 a day or $20 for a weekend pass. Kids 15 and under are free with an adult admission. The 54th Annual National Summer Arms Show, this Saturday, July 26th from 9 to 5 and Sunday 9 to 3. It's the Midwest's highest caliber event and the 5th largest arms show in America. Details online at nationalsummerarmshow.com. That's nationalsummerarmshow.com.
Hey friends, it's noisy out there with information coming at us all day, every day. It's hard to know what to trust, and the world of wealth management is no exception. That's why UMB Private Wealth Management helps you tune out the noise and tune into what matters most. They'll create a financial plan based on your unique goals, so it's your voice that comes through loud and clear. Get financial clarity. Go to umb.com/privatewealth to schedule an appointment. That's umb.com/privatewealth.
If you could hear Old Spice Fiji Antiperspirant, what would it sound like? First, you'd start with Fiji Antiperspirant's amazing scent of palm trees. Add pure notes of fresh coconut and layer on 24/7 odor and sweat protection. You won't hear any dyes or parabens because with Fiji, you won't have any. So while your regular antiperspirant sounds like this, Old Spice Fiji sounds like this. Sounds like it smells amazing.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Good morning, Doctor.
Doctor?
Hi, Doctor.
Doctor?
Dr. Jackson's practice is growing.
What do you mean we're still short-staffed?
He needs a good patient doctor.
How do we not have enough doctors to doctor all these patients?
And he doesn't have the patience to sift through hundreds of resumes.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
If you could hear Old Spice Fiji Antiperspirant, what would it sound like? First, you'd start with Fiji Antiperspirant's amazing scent of palm trees. Add pure notes of fresh coconut and layer on 24/7 odor and sweat protection. You won't hear any dyes or parabens because with Fiji, you won't have any. So while your regular antiperspirant sounds like this, Old Spice Fiji sounds like this. Sounds like it smells amazing.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This report is brought to you by Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka in Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka in Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. Proud partner of the Kansas City Royals. Each can of Surfside is only 100 calories, and the best part, 0 bubbles. Grab it at the K or ask for it at your favorite bars and liquor stores.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. What's trending?
Number one on What's Trending, the Royals begin a homestand tonight out at Kauffman Stadium. The Guardians are in town. Michael Wacha gets the nod tonight. Vern's on Deck show at 6 o'clock this evening. The Royals 3 under 500. First time against a divisional team or an AL team in just a little bit. Chance to be sitting here on Monday back at 500. That would require a sweep, obviously, of the Guardians, who, much like the Royals, have fared very well against teams below 500. They've struggled against teams above 500. Both these teams obviously hoping to get something going here in the second half of the season. Similar spots.
Yeah, absolutely in similar spots. Very similar records. Only 2.5 games separate the two teams, or 2 games. So if the Royals do win this series, they will be ahead or tied with the Cleveland Guardians. Next up with What's Trending, the Yankees have made a trade. The trade deadline opened yesterday, certainly, with a move finally, and these teams start to trade. Ryan McMahon the third baseman from the Colorado Rockies. He spent 9 years there in Colorado. Currently hitting .217 with a .314 on base percentage. Not far off his career numbers at .240, .323. He does have 16 home runs this year, but struck out a major league leading 127 times. Reports where they were interested in Eugenio Suarez, but were unwilling to pay the asking price. So for all those, like we were talking about Lourdes Gurriel, the Yankees haven't even been major buyers yet. And that's a team that hasn't won a World Series. They've won a World Series even longer ago than the Royals won a World Series 10 years ago. So I can't believe the Yankees aren't like big buyers anytime they got a team that's worth it. Every year of Aaron Judge's career, the rest of the way you should be big buyers if you can be.
Elsewhere on What's Trending, Justin Fields was back out at practice today for the Jets after all the stuff yesterday. He was carted off, and everybody thought the season was over. He's back, thank goodness. Dislocated toe. He was practicing with the Jets, so that's obviously a good sign. Thinking of training camp, obviously the Chiefs continuing that today. No fans were allowed at practice today. That's because the weather was an issue. At one point, they were going to move practice indoors. Ended up being outdoors. That's why we are in studio today. We'll be back there Monday. No injuries or anything today. Great news on the Chiefs front. Kind of same deal. Omar Norman-Lott continues to impress. Sunday, first day of padded practice.
I also saw a nice catch from the wide receiver units. Looked very good in the early part of camp.
Wow, the defenders can't really get all that physical yet.
Exactly. So I kind of want to see what happens once they get into pads coming up on Sunday. Next up on What's Trending, Bill Self had multiple stints put in an emergency, I guess, procedure is what you would call it, yesterday as Kansas announced that he was at Lawrence Memorial Hospital. He'd obviously suffered a cardiac event that led him to go to the hospital and get those stents put in. They said he is expected to make a full recovery and is in good spirits and feeling good today. But still big news over there in Lawrence, Kansas. That Bill Self had a couple stints put in. That is not the first time that has happened in the last couple of years, right? That happened one other time a couple of years ago, Gold? He had something come up?
Yeah, 2.5 years ago, right during the Big 12 tournament.
Yeah, that's what it was.
He had a heart issue at that time as well. So obviously scary stuff. I think it's fair to wonder the eventual timeline of how long he coaches. That people were speculating about that before this happened, but it becomes, I think, much more of a real conversation. But only he knows the answer to that, and obviously his own health and prognosis and things like that. That is what's trending here on Cody and Gold. Don't forget, though, when we are back up at training camp, our training camp coverage here on Cody and Gold at 96.5 The Fan is brought to you by Break Time, Missouri's homegrown convenience stores. Download their mobile app and find a location near you. Think of the convenience stores. What's the snack, Drew, on the road trip that you're going out to Outer Banks? What's the number one snack that's got to be in the car?
Well, we went ahead and went to the store early.
I'm a big fan of that, too.
I got some goldfish, which is probably the best go-to.
Scooby-Doo and goldfish. You're like 6 most
I mean,
of the time.
for a road trip, I can understand the goldfish. Pringles are another good road trip snack.
You know what? Actually, I shouldn't have judged it until I hear the rest, but
Yeah.
goldfish is a crazy purchase, $29, I think.
Go ahead. As a road trip snack?
Am I supposed to get like peanuts?
Road
What
trip
am I
snack.
supposed to
Anyway,
get?
go ahead.
This isn't 1937. Chips. I don't know, regular chips.
Anyway, go ahead, Drew. We'll get back to this in a second.
Hang on. So if I got Lay's, then it would be okay. But
No,
since
he's
I have
saying that's too old, too. Cody has to be...
Lay's would have been okay.
Oh, wait, but
goldfish is decidedly a child snack.
But on a road trip, I don't think it matters. If you like it, you're trying to find something sweet or salty that gets you through the drive.
Okay. All right. All right, I'll hear it out. What else you got?
Goldfish, Cheez-Its.
A lot of cheese.
Cheez-It is just the adult version of goldfish, but
yeah, I will say those are too similar. I will agree. Anyway, go ahead.
Fruit snacks are also a good one.
Are they Scooby-Doo shaped or they?
No.
No. Okay. All right.
Do they have Bluey on them? Or
No. All right. Keep going.
He got some Capri Suns.
All right.
Oh my goodness, some pretzels as well. And that really is. Those are really the main ones.
You just started off with like 3 things my kids eat in like bulk. It was just like, I thought for sure you're going to be like, it was starting to sound like that Sunny D commercial. We got some grape stuff. Oh, Sunny D. It's the one.
What's the drink on the
salty,
trip?
Nothing sweet.
Are you just going water, or are you going like Gatorade? Are you going your Code Red? What are you doing?
I've been a lot better at drinking water on road trips, so I'll probably start out with water. It's weird. You know how much I love Love's. Love's doesn't have Code Red except for in the bottles, so typically I'll just get a bottle of water. If I can't get like a regular fountain drink, then I'll just get bottled water. So
tough.
I stick with the water.
I drink a lot of water regularly, but on road trips I try to avoid water because I'm not trying to overstop. I don't want to constantly be stopping on the trip, so I drink a lot less water, more coffee or other caffeinated drinks. That's tough. Like, I'm not against the drinking of water, but like, doesn't that make you have to stop more? Drew? That's the issue.
I don't think it's any more than soda. The text line said I shouldn't forget the apple juice boxes.
Orange slices, juice boxes, Scooby snacks, dino-shaped chicken nuggets, all of them.
That's what they're going to eat when they get there.
All of them. Yeah.
Dude, it took me just until this year to convince my kids that a cheeseburger was good. They were like anti-cheeseburger forever. They were just like chicken nuggets, or like if we were getting something out.
All right, let's get to a couple. Let's get to a couple NFL bits of news. This one just came across. It's kind of funny from Yahoo Sports. It was a piece from Yahoo Sports on Aaron Rodgers and DK Metcalf and getting accustomed to being teammates and stuff. And they also have like a dorm set up at their camp. And so I guess DK Metcalf and Aaron Rodgers are sharing like a suite at camp.
Okay.
And Rodgers realized the toilet in their suite flushed really loud. So Rodgers told DK Metcalf, quote, "At night, if we gotta pee, just don't flush the toilet." So then 9:30 at night on Wednesday, DK Metcalf texted Rodgers, "You asleep yet?" Aaron said, "Nah." DK Metcalf texted back, "Bet, I'm about to flush the toilet." Just like that whole back and forth, just about. That's the whole thing.
This is like the off-site thing that makes it some. They're combined worth like $600 million, and they're like, "Hey, have you gone to the bathroom yet? I just want to make sure I'm cool to flush the toilet."
Yeah,
if I'm Aaron
great.
Rodgers at that point, I might just hire a local plumber and install a different toilet if they'd let me. A quieter, more efficient toilet at that rate. Aaron must value his beauty sleep, huh?
I guess. I guess.
The toilet flush is going to wake him up. Gets harder when you're older, man. Harder to sleep through the night.
That's
the same
true.
way, you know?
That's very true.
Don't you guys have a harder time
That's
sleeping through the night now? I do.
Yeah, I guess a little bit more. Yeah, I guess a little bit more. But I can still make it through the night without having to wake up and go. But there's definitely times where I feel like I've woken up more over the last year or two than I ever did before. Drew's not even 30 yet, so he doesn't know what we're talking about.
Yeah, I haven't quite experienced.
Cody, you're 40, so it's really hitting.
I don't wake up.
It's really hitting you.
I don't wake up every night, but there are more nights now in which I wake up.
I think that's fair to say.
Than before. It's definitely not every night. It's not. It's not that I can't.
Yeah.
It's that, but to make me sound like the old, like I make sure I go to the bathroom before I go to bed. You know, I try to make sure I'm squared away.
He doesn't drink a full glass of water right before he goes to bed.
I try to make sure I'm squared away before I go to sleep. I'm not trying to interrupt.
Yeah, I hear you.
This is life. Yeah. This is life as you get older, Drew. You're almost 30 years old.
I know. I'm not looking forward to the whole adjusting to having to wake up at 2 a.m. and then wake up at 4 a.m. for the exact same reason.
Yeah. No, not on that level. Not the twice a night. That's crazy. Anyway, all right. Jerry Jones.
Speaking of...
I was going to make a joke.
Having to wake up
I was going to make a joke, but, you know.
He might be in a different situation. He might be at the next level of
Jerry
that situation.
Jones, once again, finding ways to make headlines. We already, a couple days ago, talked about Micah Parsons. He wants a new deal. Jerry Jones saying things publicly that you normally wouldn't hear an owner say about a negotiation. Yesterday, Micah Parsons, or 2 days ago, talked about the deal, and then Jerry Jones was asked about what Micah Parsons had to say, and listen to Jerry's response.
Of all the players that I've ever negotiated with, Michael Parsons is as savvy and knowledgeable and understanding of his financial business relative to football as any player I've ever been around.
Yeah, you heard that right. Yes.
He call him Michael
Of all
Parson?
the players that I've ever negotiated with, Michael Parson.
Michael Parson.
Couldn't even get
Instead
the
of
S
Micah
on the last
Parsons.
name. Yeah, Micah
Just
Parsons.
and you can say, "Oh, it's just a flub. He
This is
made a
my
mistake." It's just all these come together and culminate to
Bob
this
was saying this morning that
embarrassing.
he did it on purpose. He thinks Jerry did it on purpose.
I don't know if he did it on purpose. I just think he's an absolute joke when it comes to handling contract stuff and saying stuff to the media.
Michael Parson.
Mm-hmm.
I think there is a level of
Every
being
day, man,
disrespectful.
Jerry
that-
Jones.
Listen, he could have thrown some shade maybe at Micah Parsons for something that he said, but
he doesn't
disrespecting the man by not calling him, by missing both his first and last
Not an
name.
accident. He's a confused old man who should not be running an NFL team.
You think I'm an idiot?
He doesn't even know the name of the second most important player of his team. That'd be like calling him Daniel Prescott's. Like he called him Michael Parson. He got both his names wrong.
I think truly this is what Jerry Jones lives by, though.
You want some conversation this morning? You'll get that.
So you think he might have done it on purpose so that we talk about it?
I actually think at times he does stuff on purpose.
Surely,
yes.
there's no way he botched his name on purpose.
On purpose?
Either that or he's starting to decline and is making a lot more mistakes that we just don't recognize.
I wouldn't even be. I wouldn't go this far, but if I was Micah Parsons, I'd be like, all right, man. Listen, you need to trade me. You didn't even say my name correctly. I'm ready to go somewhere else. And to see how quickly things change then.
You have got to be smoking something over there this morning.
That Michael Parson,
That might be the all. Is that the all-time Jerry drop now? Is that? I think there's some other good ones.
It really do.
That's a good one.
I still can't get over how decent of an actor he was in Landman.
Oh, he was very good.
I mean, it's incredible.
Was very good that we played.
I'm not saying I've done anything right, but I made my mind up a long time ago. I was going to work with my kids. They're involved in everything. They're involved in my leasing, oil and gas, real estate. And so when I got to Cowboys, I got it so that we could all work together. I just know it's not going to be this time, but you're going to be sitting here sometime in the future, laying here sometime in the future. And this room's going to be full of your business associates and the people you've worked with all your life. And more than likely, your children and family are going to be there because they're your children and your family. But you could have them there because they're the people you spent your life with, you worked with, you fell down with, you got up with. Not just Thanksgiving and Christmas. That's who you want to be with. So when that time comes like this, it's a celebration of your life, and you're not wishing you'd spend a little more time, seeing a few more sons come up. That's the trick. That's the trick.
Give him an Oscar.
I mean,
give him an Oscar.
He was very good.
Give him an Oscar, Jerry Jones.
I was blown away.
I will say the fact that he also has the accent along with calling him Michael Parson, I think it adds to it a little bit.
Yeah, he was great.
Smiles and glory holes.
That might be the all-timer, Drew. I was thinking more about. Did you guys see the big news in the Travis Kelce Taylor Swift relationship?
Well,
last
I
night?
see the rumblings, people speculating about an engagement party or something.
I got to be honest. I am in agreement with the theory that if they are not engaged now, they are about to be, because a big thing happened, Drew, yesterday. For the first time on all of his social media, Travis Kelce had a coming out party of I am with Taylor Swift.
Of photos.
And look at all the cool stuff we did over the summer. Them at the beach, them at parties, them hanging out in closed, intimate situations. He has, to this point, avoided putting her on his social media altogether. He put it on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. He made that thing official everywhere. So I am convinced that if they are not engaged yet,
people are thinking,
they are engaged. They are soon to be engaged. Yeah. Because why else take this whole thing to social media when everything else in his life has been pretty public, and he's kept this thing so close to the vest?
The photo everybody's talking about is the one where I think he's wearing a captain's hat, or what it's like captain, and hers says like,
because Taylor Swift loves to do everything coded.
But then what do what do you think they're
putting secret messages in there about their engagement?
Yeah, is she waiting to drop a new album?
I genuinely think that it's their
She got a new album on the way. My guess is she's got one here soon.
Engaged. The rest of the league is going to be angry.
He posted photos of them in a restaurant. There were photos of them with snow all around them. Because again, she does everything coded. They think that there's stuff to read between the lines. I think they're getting ready to be engaged if they're not engaged already.
Announce the engagement on the day of a new album. Boom, perfect.
Congratulations in
Football
advance
opening
to
week.
those two.
What will we do? I can't have that on the Monday after the first game.
Friday night. Announce it Friday night in
No,
Brazil.
don't do it. Announce it on Friday. I want to talk about it on this show.
Somebody said
I told you from the beginning I thought they were getting married as soon as this thing got a little bit of juice.
Real quick, from the 816, someone said Micah Parsons needs to call him Gary Jones in his next presser.
Gary Jones.
Call him the wrong name.
Absolutely.
Call him Joan instead of Jones.
Come on
That would
now.
be pretty funny, honestly. He did say the other day this isn't for Jerry. He called him Terry. Something that's close to his name. It doesn't have to be call him Terry. This one isn't for Terry. He's like, did you say Terry? Yeah, Terry. Can't say Michael Parsa.
Who's having sex with Jerry Jones?
Well, Dusty. I don't
Whoa. He's supposed to be on vacation
What is he doing
Hang
here?
on a second.
Yeah,
what?
he chimed in the conversation, too. I don't know. Thanks, Dusty.
Jeez.
What's your guys' official stance? Do you think Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are or will be engaged in the next 3 months?
Yes.
3 months, yes.
Sure. Yes. Man, so we all think it's imminent.
I think it happens before the season starts.
I think they're engaged, man.
I need to watch Happy Gilmore, too. People are texting in. Don't spoil it, please. Come on now. It doesn't spoil the Kelce scenes.
I already saw one of the Kelce scenes.
Oh, well,
and
don't spoil it.
It's clearly. Hold on, can I say one thing?
Fine.
It is clearly, his scene is clearly an homage to a childhood movie him and Jason have talked about being one of their favorite movies.
Okay. All right.
Very
What, does
clearly,
Bambi make an appearance?
That's different. Very clearly paying homage to a scene from Heavyweights.
Yeah.
Did you see the movie?
Heavyweights, yes.
Okay.
Heavyweights
so
is
him
a
and
classic.
Jason have talked about how they think it's one of their favorite movies.
Step on the scale.
The scene, one of the scenes that Travis Kelce is in, is clearly, I think, paying homage to a scene from Heavyweights with him and Bad Bunny of all people.
Bad Bunny.
Yeah, I'll watch Happy Gilmore 2 this weekend. At some point, I'll find some
Doesn't
time.
Bad Bunny caddy for?
Hey, so how many more spoilers are we going to get here?
Hang on,
What are we doing?
Hang on.
What are we doing?
Hang on. This is
The movie came out 12 hours ago. We're out here.
Go couldn't even have watched it.
Hang on.
On New Heights, they did compare.
I saw
Jason
that
did
at
make
a
a joke.
preview.
On New Heights, they did make a joke. Jason said that they were talking about they watched Pretty Woman for their movie club that they do on the show.
Okay.
And he was like, I don't think you could do that movie today. Like, and Jason was saying that. And Travis was like, the only way to test it is to do the opposite, where you do Pretty Man and it's everything. He's like, that's you. That's pretty much the life you're living. Is that you're just this rough and tumble nonsense, and she's going to zhuzh you up so you can be in the rest of
I guess there's no reason for me to watch
situations.
this show anymore. Thank you, guys.
Because you know Bad Bunny's
Thank
in
you,
it,
guys.
and there's one
Thanks,
Hang
guys.
on. All I
don't need to
said
watch
is
it.
they paid homage to Heavyweights.
Next thing you're
I didn't even tell you what scene.
Next thing you're going to tell me Adam Sandler is golfing in a tournament. Jeez, it's
No,
over now.
hang on a second.
Man,
I saw
man.
Bad Bunny in the preview.
That is in the preview.
Holding the golf bag. I would think that
I haven't seen
he's
it.
the caddy. I haven't seen it either.
Stop talking about
Jeez.
Happy Gilmore 2.
I didn't tell you what happens.
I'm still worried it's going to be terrible. I don't want it to be awful, you know?
You can spoil a quarterback. We already know Cincinnati didn't make the playoffs. I don't need you do that. I don't care about.
It's
okay, you can't spoil Happy Gilmore 2.
The day it releases. Come on, but it's Happy Gilmore 2. He's not spoiling the ending to, like, Endgame that came out today. He's like, it's Happy Gilmore 2.
I still want to see it. Give me at least 3 days to watch it, please. That's all.
We already get an idea, though. What you already know going into it, what's kind of going to happen.
Yeah, Shooter McGavin's going to be disappointed at the end, I'm guessing. I don't know that for a fact, but something tells me.
It's Happy Gilmore 2. It's not a remake.
I know.
Could have a different ending. Could. I want to find out for myself.
That's fair.
Fine. The funnier ones are the ones we spoil when it's like movies from the 90s or 2000s. You're like, it's not on me. If you didn't see it in the last 30 years, I'm allowed to spoil it.
Have you guys seen our station social media today? The